they claim that they want one thing, but their actions speak another. And I always like to say, if you want a certain type of fish, you got to go to the right pond or lake. You know what I mean? And it's like, I see over and over, they keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. Like, I met this guy, treated me real bad. Where'd you meet him? The bar. Or where'd you meet her? Oh, I mean, Tinder. I'm not a Tinder hater, but I ain't a Tinder lover. You know what I'm saying?
That's a quote. We started our podcast already, but we weren't live. We weren't recording anything. So, new start. I'm here with my boy David Graham. Tell us about yourself.
Shoot, man. Here in Hawaii, got about 14 days left. Then it's back to the mainland. But yeah, happy to be here, man.
Yeah, what brought you to Hawaii?
Well, I was in the Coast Guard about 4 years before I came here. Kind of a wild story how I ended up here. But at the end of my training to be a public affairs specialist, they kind of asked me, like, where do you want to go? Which is pretty uncommon for the military. And I said, Hawaii, and they gave it to me. So.
Bro, you would think that a lot of people say Hawaii, but I actually talked to a lot of people who are in Hawaii. This is like the last place they wanted to be.
Yeah, my brother was stationed out here, and that blew my mind because I visited when I was 18, and he's like, yeah, our neighbors are Army, and they're like rednecks, and they hate it here. Like, they never go to the beach, and it's like, because I grew up in Myrtle Beach, where it's like, we love the beach, and then when you can go to a nicer beach, it's like, why not,
Yeah. Myrtle Beach is where?
Dirty Myrtle. It's on the coast. I mean, it's somewhere between Charleston and North Carolina, it's on the coast, but I call it the white trash Miami.
The white trash Miami.
Yeah. It was dope to grow up there, though, for sure.
So it's not West Coast. I think a lot of people in Hawaii are familiar with the West Coast, but we're not really familiar with the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast.
What was it like out there, man?
It was cool, man. I mean, wintertime's dead. It's like a ghost town where I'm from in the wintertime, but summertime's fun. It's just every day growing up. I homeschooled as well.
Oh, for real?
For a certain amount of time, yeah. So, there's a lot of field trips, if that's what you want to call them, to the beach.
That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Field trips to the zoo, field trips to the beach. Yeah, we homeschooling our kids, man. We love it.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, I think especially this day and age, it's like, might be the move.
It's the move. It is the move, man. Like, low key, that's the move. That's the move. Homeschool. Yeah, less time in the classroom, man. That's what they need.
Yeah, my mom said, because I went homeschool, Christian school, back and forth, and then eventually public school to play real sports. But yeah, my mom volunteer. What's it called when you a teacher when you come in there once in a while? Substitute teacher.
Yeah.
And almost every time Miss Carol came to the class, I was like, "Do y'all want to go outside instead?" And she would get us to get our books, and we go outside and do our class because she just loved nature and stuff. So everybody loved my mom as a sub teacher.
So that's sick. I think that we need to be outside more.
Yeah.
We need to be outside more. I love that about homeschooling with our kids, man. Just they can go outside, they play. They're playing more than most kids. So yeah, it's a fun childhood. And we get the most time with them.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you guys are pretty close then, your family?
Yeah. Got 4 brothers, 2 sisters, the Graham clan. But we're all pretty close. Try to keep in contact. But I think it's dope. It was cool living in a big growing up in a big family. Being the youngest too, I was able to watch and learn from others' mistakes. And, have different relationships with them all too.
You're the youngest.
Yep.
What's the age difference between you and the next person?
6 years.
6 years? Oh, you're really young.
Yeah.
Wow, you grew up like an only child.
Yeah. Well, me and my brother Jesse, he's the closest in age to me. We homeschooled together. And then towards the end, a little bit of Christian school in there, but he eventually left, and it was just me homeschooling.
Whoa, bro.
So I think I learned to entertain myself, and there's a lot to that.
Is that how you got into the Coast Guard? You said earlier you're doing media for the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that?
Well, I've always been into video stuff ever since a kid. There's YouTube channels that are not live right now that I had some uploaded videos on there, just doing ridiculous stuff with friends, lighting off fireworks and just being crazy. I think my mom bought me a camera from the toy aisle. I just had a big interest in it. And so I've always been into that. And then I went to high school at the Academy for Arts, Science, and Technology. I called it Hogwarts because we had kids there that wore capes. But
nerds.
Nah, man, I was a nerd too. I think I was one of the only kids that got caught out by a teacher to pull up their pants.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I stuck out a little bit there.
Your pants was low on purpose, or?
I was, you know what I mean? I listened to a lot of rap music back then.
Yeah. What were you listening to? What you guys listening to out on the East Coast?
Dude, I mean, I stay away from it now, but like, I don't want to incriminate anybody, but I had close people around me that listened to a lot of trapping music.
Okay.
Which trapping had a different meaning back then. So like, you know, Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy,
Gucci
Yo
Man.
Gotti, all them.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know about Gucci Mane, whatever you call him, bro, till I got to Tennessee for school.
Yeah.
And bro, they love him down south. They love that guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah. He's got that southern slang.
Bro, yeah, it was a lot for me as an island kid, man. Just like, what is going on?
Yeah, but I got some funny stories too with the whole rap thing. I'll bring that up later. But so I was always in the video and stuff, and I went there with Chris, which we'll expose him later. Pause. And
why we gotta pause? This concerns me. Why are we pausing so early? We just started.
You got to talk to Chris about that. But so we went to the academy and majored in entertainment technology, which is like film history. We had to learn how to handle cameras in a studio setting. After that, I went to a community college at Cape Fear, really to play soccer. But I majored in film and video production. But that was more big picture, big studio sets, like go be a grip on set for 5 years getting coffee, and you might get a step up job, and kind of took all the excitement away from me, and I didn't want to do that. Mm-hmm. So then I went back to Myrtle Beach basically, and worked in a restaurant doing construction, started getting a little more trouble. And my brother Robin, who is in the Coast Guard, he's been there for a while, he just called me, and some other influence as well. Just like, what do you got to lose? Like, give it a shot. So I joined the Coast Guard. I'm colorblind, so I couldn't get the cool jobs, you know what I mean, the stuff you see in the movie. So I did public affairs. I got to do some cool stuff before that. I was in Louisiana, going down the Mississippi River, working on ACE navigation, construction work basically, and towing trailers. Worked at a small boat station. Then I got trained to be a public affairs specialist, and then ended up out here.
Bro, but that is the cool stuff.
What
you do is cool to me. I always hear about these military guys. You're the first public relations guy that I met. And I was like, man, you were in charge of propaganda. It's crazy. Yeah, I love it.
It ain't cool when like local, aunties are calling you, blowing up your phone, calling you a disgrace because you can't give them info from the Coast Guard. But
bro, you get calls from local aunties?
Well, I mean, Maui fires was crazy, and like it was a crazy thing about the Coast Guard. You have a lot of responsibility at lower ranks, so like. I was getting the calls for the U.S. Coast Guard for the Maui fires. Like, I was the one, like, hello, U.S., you know what I mean? And it got pretty hairy. Some people were getting mad because there was a breakdown of communication. But, yeah.
Dang.
I'll leave it at that.
Bro, what was it like? What was that time like for you guys? Because I know you guys were... I know the guys that I know that were in the Coast Guard at the time, they were out doing something else. And they had to, like, get to Maui to help out.
Where were they stationed?
No, they were just here, but they went on a boat to go do some buoy changes.
Yeah. No, I mean, they used every available asset in the area with the Coast Guard. All hands on deck for that, obviously. I mean, it's major.
Man. Dude, so what's that job been like for you?
It's been cool. I always joke and say, like, I don't have the cool job, but I take pictures and videos of the dudes doing the cool job. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in helicopters, C-130s. I've been underway on small boats, done boardings in the middle of the Pacific, taking photos of the tacked out dudes in camouflage, Call of Duty stuff. But nah, it's pretty cool. I've been able to do some cool stuff. Definitely a blessing at the end of the day. Like, I'm getting out. I have 14 days left. But I could, I'll never hate on the Coast Guard or military. Like, it's been a blessing for me and set me up for the next chapter for sure.
What's been the best part about being in the military?
Man, I guess the consistency and structure. Just like you can't. I mean, there's bad apples wherever you go, but eventually, like, things have to be sorted out. Like, there's a system, and you always have someone you're supposed to be able to go to if things are getting crazy or if someone's not acting the way they should. I I guess overall just that structure. Can't just be wilding out.
Yeah. So what was it like for you? Because you said that you were getting in a lot of trouble beforehand. Was that hard for you to make the adjustment?
No, I liked it. Just like working at a bar and stuff, and being underage and around people that aren't trying to do the right thing. Like I just saw the influence get bigger and bigger, and my own decisions get worse. But yeah. Nah, I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed it. In boot camp, I definitely didn't thrive. I got sent to like the jail of boot camp.
Bro, why'd you get sent to jail?
It's called the Recruit Attitude Motivational Program, I think. It's called RAMP. And there's a conspiracy theory that sometimes they'll send strong recruits there because it's a 4-day program, and if you graduate, you get sent back to your original company. And if you fail, you get reverted into a later company, which means basically you'll be in boot camp longer. But there's a theory that sometimes they'll send strong recruits, to the ramp to then show like you can graduate, you can do what they say and go back to your original company. Because if you think everyone's going to fail, you're not going to try. But yeah, it's just like the jail. You have to put on these orange life vests and march 24/7. Doesn't matter if you're using the bathroom, taking a shower.
It doesn't matter if you're using the bathroom.
You're stomping your feet, and every time your right foot hits the ground, you got to scream ramp. And like you're like a duck walking around. And yeah, it was crazy, man. And but I was 3 of the 12. There's 12 of us total, and I was one of the 3 that graduated and went back to our company. But
Bruh.
they just said on my paper, it said I had a bad attitude, but I don't think I had one.
Dang. You got a bad attitude. You're the strong one, though.
I mean, that was always
That's what you had to tell yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it blew my mind. I'm like, why? I never get in trouble here. I never get called out. And they're like, Graham. I was the special edition. They called everybody out, and they said, all right. And they said, oh, wait, we got one more. And looked at me. He's like, Graham, you're going.
Bro.
Yeah.
What's that meme? The Lord saves his toughest battles for his strongest people, bro. Did you feel?
We were praying, bro.
Did you feel privileged?
Hey, no joke though, man. I think we had some atheists in our group, but like it was rough. Those 4 days, like everybody was like, "Do y'all want to pray?" Like, and that never happened in boot
bro.
camp
That's crazy.
Yeah, because people were stressing out. Like,
yeah. So, were you raised in the church, or?
Yeah, I was. And what's interesting about me, I think my parents were more strict with my older siblings. Like, you live in this house, you are going to church. Doesn't matter if you're 30. You know, by the time I came around, my father always said they took more of the hands-off approach. I think by age 13, they stopped making me go to church. Like, if you don't want to go, fine. You know, they weren't like happy about it, but like, all right, we're not going to force you. But yeah, and I tell my friends about this. I talk about this all the time. Like my process of sanctification was not very linear. Like it's been up and down, left and right, you know. And in high school, even like I think back and it's just kind of strange. A lot of things I did. Like I drank a lot and did a lot of things like just with females and stuff I shouldn't have been doing. But I remember it wasn't until years later with my walk with God that I remember being at parties and stuff and be like, hey man, promise me you're going to go to church with me in the morning. Just like something in me. It wasn't like, cause church wasn't a check off the box thing, but it was like, I wanted my friends to hear about Jesus, you know? And it's weird to look back on that. Like, what was that? You know? So there was always something in me. But with my journey, my walk, it wasn't until I joined the military, it was on my own. And I like to say, I came to this point where it was like, all right, what do I say I believe? What does my life reflect, like my actions, and what do I really believe? And I think that's where God really started working on my heart, and that's where I started like just listening to a lot of preachers and like just growing and realizing like, oh, this preacher I really used to like he's not really aligning with these scriptures, you know? And then I started listening to, I think, more biblically sound preachers, and I just got hungry for the word. And and that's where it really grew. My faith really grew. And something that really boils my beef or grinds my gears is nah, dude. See, you took that the wrong. Something that grinds my gears is like how a lot of my friends who are Christians or say they're Christians look at church, because that's a big part of my story or my walk with God. Is like when I got to New Orleans, like I tried a bunch of different churches, you know, and I have friends that are like, oh, I tried a church and they're really weird, so I don't ever want to go again. It's like try again, sir. You know, like. I checked out all types of churches. I've been to some weird ones in Louisiana. Like, I remember I went to one, and I kid you not, I went to a lot of rap shows growing up, and this pastor on the front row seat had basically his hype man. And after every time he said something, he would jump up in the air like, yeah, yeah. Like, it was like literally a hype man. And like, just some funny stuff.
That was his ministry?
That was
just hype up the pastor?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they should have gave him a mic. But, so I tried out, and I didn't give up, but I was pretty like beaten down, like discouraged, like trying to find a good church. And it was definitely from God. And shout out to Connor from New Orleans. I was stationed there. He was in the Coast Guard too. He picked me up on a Saturday night coming back from leave. It was kind of late, probably like 10. And he's like, hey, man, I heard about this church called Church of the King. Do you want to go tomorrow? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, let's try it out. And that was a game changer for me, man. I went there, and I don't think it was that weekend, but the next week, that church was so big. It was a big church. So I'm not like a mega church hater. I mean, there's good and everything, but on Thursday nights, they had a thing called District that was strictly for 18 to 30-year-olds. They had that many young people. And I called it Club District.
Hold on. 18 to 30 is a big age.
Yeah, it was for adults.
What do you do if you're leaning 30?
I don't know.
Bro,
I was 22, so I
you're right there. You're in the prime. Oh, can you imagine? You hit 30, what do you do?
I know that. I didn't have to deal with that. I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. I know. Trust me, I thought about it too, because I had some friends in there that were like pushing 30, and I don't think it was super strict. Like,
they already got their second promotion already.
Yeah, I don't think they were checking IDs, but it was just so cool. But we walked in to the lobby, and my boy Nick Sharp, I call him Reverend.
Wait,
Nick.
what?
His name's Nick Sharp.
Nick Sharp, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And I call him Reverend Nick. He's not a reverend, but we walked in, me and Connor, and he was like, saw us as like, two new guys, like, hey, what's up? Like, introduced himself, invited us to his small group, and that changed a lot. And that was the first time in my life I ever saw the importance of community, like Christian community. It was a men's group. I think it was like ages like 20 to 30, basically, maybe a little over 30. But that was the most real, like, honest men's group I've ever been in. And what was so great about it is they had some new believers that were like late 20s, 27. We had firefighters, high school football coaches, like electricians, and they didn't know how to speak Christianese. They didn't know how to put on the mask. So, we're being honest in there. We got dudes talking about, yeah, I got drunk last week, or I watched porn this week, or, I had an affair with a married woman before I became a Christian, and now I feel convicted about it. Like, do you believe God can forgive me? Like, real honest questions. And our group leaders were knowledgeable and, had some wisdom from the Lord. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a great, and we were praying for each other. We held each other accountable. Like, that was like, wow. Like, I can see, who was it in the Bible? Was it Paul who like says, do not forsake the...
We don't know who that was. It was Hebrews. It could be Paul with Luke writing. But yeah, we don't know the author of Hebrews. But Hebrews 10. Yeah.
What is it? Exactly?
Don't forsake the gathering of believers.
Yeah. And I just get frustrated sometimes. Like, my friends back home, like, I can't find a good church, or I know I should go to church, or this or that. It's like, you simply don't know what you're missing. And like, while I get frustrated, it's more sad than anything. Like, you really don't know what you're missing. And I look at it like going to the gym. It's obviously much deeper than that, but it's like, you never regret going to the gym. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You never go to the gym like, man, I wish I didn't go. That's how church is for like anyone I know and myself. It's like, man, I wish I didn't go to church this morning. That never happens. Yeah,
no, like 100% with people. I feel the same way. Just as a pastor, like, for people that don't go to church, I've just seen it where I've never seen someone grow closer with the Lord not going to a church. And I understand that there's some people that have been burned by the church, but at the same time, like, you can't expect anything else in a place where there's just people gathered. Any place you're going to be in,
for sure,
there's going to be people that hurt each other. There's going to be people that, do each other harm. At the same time, with church is like, you're giving up a big part of the sanctification that God, the way God wants to sanctify you, the way He wants you to make you more like Jesus. And I think that Hebrews 10 passage, like, the context of it is like, do not forsake the gathering of believers, the fellowship of the saints. Don't forsake it, because it's easy to do, right? Like, it's easy to forsake it. It's easy to forget it. And it says, as the end draws near, right? As the time comes closer for Jesus to come again, especially don't forsake the gathering of believers, because it's also a protection. And when when Paul writes and he says to, I think Ephesians, might be the church in Ephesus, might not be. I might be wrong on that. But Paul actually tells the church, right? Or Corinthians, we're just preaching on it. Hand that man over to Satan, right? He means kick him out the church. And the equivalent he uses, right, is kicking him outside the church is essentially handing them over to Satan for the destruction of their flesh. You are an easy target away from the local body of believers, away from people who you're an easy target for the devil. You're an easy target for your flesh, right? Where people aren't checking you and aren't calling you out.
Yeah.
That's a part of being in the church, you know? And I used to always say, like, for me, one of the biggest things that opened my eyes to community was when I became a part of a community group as a young, like 22-year-old, 23-year-old, you know, my wife and I were just married and we got into an argument and somebody, wasn't me, let somebody know in the group that we needed prayer, we were arguing, whatever.
Yeah.
And the leader of the group hit me up to go take me out to dinner. And he lovingly just confronted me about my sin and just said, hey, you know, I'm looking to you to learn what it's like to love a wife. I'm not married yet, but I need you to step up. I need you to show me. And I left that dinner not feeling great. I was kind of ticked, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't care what that guy has. Who is he to tell me what I'm supposed to do? And in 5 minutes on my drive home, I realized, man, that was the most loving thing because I wouldn't want to do that to somebody. I would rather just let their sin go. And he didn't do that. You know, he confronted me. And I think exactly what you're saying, like, you don't need a place where you openly share sin and no one pushes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like those accountability groups in college where we're just like, we all sinned. Oh, you sin too?
Yeah.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Let's pray. I thought I was alone. You know what I mean? That does nothing for you.
Yeah.
You know, and so I really appreciate just that group that you're talking about. Just really shows the importance of community.
For sure, man.
So that guy just walked up to you randomly?
Well, he didn't work for the church. He was served at the church. But he had a community group and he just like saw us coming in and just like, hey, you want to join, you know? So
Dude, okay, so tell me about this because I felt this when I left college because in college was where I had my boys, man, that like poured into me and shared the gospel with me and taught me how to study scripture.
yeah.
What was it like leaving that?
Leaving like that church,
That environment.
It was truthfully, I mean, Louisiana's cool, but like that church was really even me and Connor, like that was the only thing we were like, yeah, that's the only thing we're going to miss, man, is that church, that community. Yeah. So leaving that, I mean, from there, I went up to Baltimore to train, which is where Chris is at, or going
sick.
to be.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to meet some cool guys. My boy David Rowe, he led a Bible study there. It definitely wasn't the same, you know, as males and females. Like we weren't getting real, but it was like me and him developed a good brotherhood. But yeah, I don't know how I've never really like. I mean, it definitely wasn't fun, you know, leaving that environment. And I truthfully haven't found a group like that. I found good community groups, but there was just definitely something special about that. And I think it was like meant to be for me at that time as well. You know, like I may never find a group quite like that, but I might not need a group quite like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what I took away too, because I didn't like have that same type of group ever, you know, that I had when I was in college. At the same time, I think that was for a season. And what I've tried to do is try to cultivate that for other people, you know? Like I kind of learned like, man, I want to be helpful to people. I want to open up my home. I want, you know, I want people to feel like they can be honest with each other and try to be on the other end of that, you know, cultivating it. So that's been good. So did you leave New Orleans and come straight to Hawaii or after Baltimore?
Louisiana, Baltimore to train, and then Hawaii.
Okay. How was the adjustment to Hawaii, man? Did you love it?
Nah, I mean, yeah.
How much did you love it?
It was crazy. I mean, it definitely felt weird being so far away, but I never got like island fever or nothing like that. It was cool. My first year here, though, I definitely secluded myself a lot. You know, like I don't know why I did it. I think I was like dealing with a lot. Like I think I got the job and realized like, oh, like this ain't what I want to do for the next 14, 15 years. So I think that was pretty heavy. But once I got more adjusted, you know, got it more involved with church here at Harbor. Tried out a couple different churches before I, you know, ended up at Harbor in town. But nah, I mean, it's been dope, man. I've been blessed to travel a lot. when I joined the military, and this isn't something I made up, like I used to tell people this before I joined, like I wanted to join to travel and mature. And I definitely did one of those things because man, I've gone to Fiji, Tahiti, Papua New Guinea, Guam, like Christmas Island, someplace. Like,
I ain't never heard of that. This is a Christmas Island?
Yeah, man. But
Wow.
yeah, I've been just some really cool places. Like I could have been stationed in Florida, maybe go to Bahamas, and that's probably it. Or like I could have been stationed like, you know, somewhere random, you know, Cleveland. But, you know, I ended up here and I got to travel, you know, I got to go.
Who wants to go to Cleveland?
Yeah.
I'm just quoting a basketball player.
I don't know.
You don't know? You remember that? Oh, okay.
I don't know sports.
I thought you were a sports guy.
I mean, I'll ball out a little bit, but I don't know how to. I don't watch it, though.
Bro, how's the basketball in Hawaii, bro? Tell the people so they know. Be honest, David.
I mean, I was humbled, man. I mean, dude, I kept getting hurt too, man. They called me glass ankles, bro.
For real?
I rolled my ankle like 3 times and I fractured it one time. I rolled it so bad out here, so I got scared. And I was a soccer player too, so like.
I thought you was gonna say our basketball isn't that good. That's what everybody from the mainland says. Good,
but I played at Pearl Harbor, which is all military dudes.
Oh, okay.
And so like, there's some ballers, you know.
Yeah. I couldn't get on the court in Indiana, man. They were like, nobody was looking for a 5'9" center, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, can you dribble, pass, or shoot? I'm like, no. But I can rebound. They're like, no, you can't. You're 5'9".
Dang. Do you ball out here ever?
No, bro. Do I look like a ball anymore?
Retired?
No, dude. Retired, bro.
For that.
Bro, been retired for a decade. I remember the moment I walked into the gym. Like I was working out. So I played college ball, right? Like not big time school at all.
Yeah.
And I wasn't great, but I liked working out. But after playing college, like I was banged up, like couldn't run, hurt my Achilles. My shoulder is already like bad. I have to get a shoulder replacement. I've had 2 surgeries already. And I remember I walked into like a 24-hour fitness or a Go Gym, whatever that thing was, Powerhouse or something. Mm-hmm. And I remember power cleaning. I was getting it. And I was getting a little too much. And I looked in the mirror and I had not been playing for 6 months. I looked in the mirror. I looked at all the weight and the weight just felt heavy that day. And I was like, I just unracked it silently. That was my first exercise of the day too. I unracked it silently, left the platform, walked to the front, and I was like, hey man, you just cancel my membership. And the guy was like, sir, we can suspend. I was like, no, I ain't coming back. Just cancel it.
No way.
I'm out. Worst decision of my life, bro. I should have just stayed, dude. I should have just stayed on the elliptical. But I didn't, bro. I was just so tired of working out. I had worked out for most of my life, just training.
Yeah.
Training for, for sports. But then after not having anything to train for in my mind.
It's like, what's the goal?
Yeah, what's my goal? So I put all my smoke towards other things,
Yeah.
Seminary, becoming a pastor, other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, raising my kids. But now I'm like, I should get back in there. I got a home gym. I'm like, dang. I should get back downstairs, but I don't.
Yeah.
So no, all that to be said, I don't ball at all. Dude, I can ball against my son. I just wrecked his life dunking on him at the 8-foot rims.
You gotta humble him.
Just humble him, bro. Tomahawk jam on him. Bounce the ball right off his forehead, bro.
Yeah. What's the professor style? You know who that is, right?
Dude, I know the professor, yeah. I remember watching him when he was on the And One mixtape.
And One, yeah.
You remember that?
I don't remember it too well, but I saw the documentary.
Oh, yeah, you younger.
I remember the shorts and stuff, man. The shoes and shorts, like see him at Goodwill and stuff.
Dude, baggy. Yeah. Bro, my mom, she couldn't say it right, so she would call it And Ones. I'm like, Mom, it's just a one. It's And One.
I'm sure there's a knockoff brand somewhere.
And there's some And One. Yeah, some. No offense now. Chinese made And Wands out there, bro. I guarantee it's out there. If it's out there though, send it. Like I hope somebody posts it in the comments because I want to see it. The And Wands. And maybe my mom was correct, bro. Maybe my mom saw And Wands out there. She had a pair of And Wands. Maybe I was rocking the And Wands, bro, without knowing. I thought I had the And Wands, bro. I had the And Wands. That would be crazy. Yeah, that would be unfortunate, bro. I'd be sad if I really was rocking those, bro. Because there was a time. So I remembered this, right? Like, my parents, and and bless them. They've always provided more than I need. And but we would go shopping. My mom's family's in Sacramento. Shout out Sacramento. And we would go up there, and then we would go shop. You know, like my cousins, you know, they weren't in the nicest part of town, and we go shopping at these stores, right? And so I thought I was wearing some like Gucci stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember going to school dressed like that in 7th grade. And I remember the students were like, "Dang, that's sick! What a sick outfit you got on."
Yeah.
Burberry, things like that. But I always remember the teachers laughing, be like, nice clothes, and just kind of giggling.
Dang.
And so I put 2 and 2 together way later in life. Like I was done with school already. I was wearing the knockoff. That's why those teachers were laughing at me.
Haters, bro.
Haters, though. But I want to have the same kind of swag that I didn't care.
Yeah. Man.
I would like to think I didn't care. But, you know.
Haters don't want to see you win.
They don't want to see you win, bro. They don't want to see you.
They're just mad they didn't have the Gucci's.
They didn't mad. They were mad. Yeah, they were mad. They were paying bills, and I was rocking fake Gucci, and I didn't care. But you know what? I rock with people that wear fake jewelry and fake clothes.
Yeah.
Like that wear them, and they know they're fake, and they say they're fake.
Yeah.
That's cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't care to impress. They're like, I just like the way this diamond looks.
Yeah.
It's fake, so I didn't spend a lot of money on them.
Yeah.
I rock more with those people than the people who are trying to fake like they have it.
For sure. No, I'm there with you, man. Yeah, dude.
Inflation's too high to be acting cool right now. We all in it.
Man.
We all struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
We doing
I'm about to lose my job, man.
We're doing baby steps.
I'm not buying nothing fancy.
Tell us about that, man. Why are you getting out?
Man, I'm just ready for the next chapter.
But you got a short thing. You got a good. You're on a good career path.
Yeah.
So why get out now?
I just like it's scary to jump out and do the whole freelance videography, which is what I'm trying to do. But the thought of staying in and doing a job I really don't like for another 14 years is scarier. I feel like that's just like, you know, everybody can't quote unquote live the dream, do what they love for a living, all that stuff. But I'd rather take the risk now while I'm single, no kids, versus down the line. Like, oh, I really hate what ifs. You know what I mean? And to me, joining the military was a what if. And now that's gone. Like I seen it. You know what I mean? I done it. I seen it.
You seen it. You see what it can be. You don't want it.
Another one was, dude, I wanted to play football. That was like one of the only what ifs I blew it, man. Didn't do it.
You never played?
Never tried out, man. Because at that time, I was out. My base school was Myrtle Beach. It was a pretty big football school. I remember one time my friend's dad gave me the biggest pep talk. You're only going to live once. You're only going to be young once. Go for it. Try for it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then how do I say this? Didn't do it. But
why didn't you do it?
Because it was a stupid reason. Like, because I didn't want to, I believe I could make the team, but I didn't want to train all summer in the summer heat, doing all that stuff. Train, practice, and not play. That was my fear. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. And then you look back and it's like, how did I spend my time? Partying, being an idiot. So it's like, that's one of my only what ifs. It's like, I really wish I would have tried. Not because I think I'll make it to college, but I just hate what ifs, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, now my what if is like, what if I would have gotten out and really chased what I really want to do or something along those lines? So, yeah, man. And it's scary. Like, my job's cool. It's a blessing, but it's not me. You know, it's not me. Like, answering the phone, but, you know, it's almost like corporate America. Like, what's it called? Like, when you have that syndrome, imposter syndrome. Like, soon as I became a public affairs specialist, like, I've even had people tell me that. It's like, Graham, you're not a PA. You're not. You know? You're not. What is that from?
You're not. Dude.
But, yeah, man, I'm just ready for it. Ready to take the risk now.
Yeah. And what are you going to be doing?
Well, I guess this is another reason why the Coast Guard was a blessing is that when I was in New Orleans, I always like live music sessions where people record video and audio of a musician performing. And one day I was in the shower and I was like, there are a lot of good ideas happen, all right?
Hold on.
We'll get to Chris later.
Nice.
Pause.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
what is going on right now?
You bring up Chris.
Why did Chris
weird,
get
you know
up?
What I'm saying?
Why did Chris come up with the shower idea?
He gave me that look.
All right. We'll come back around. We'll come back around.
Right?
Okay. Let's not get there yet.
Nah, but so I was like, why don't I do this? It doesn't seem that hard. Like, why don't I record a live session? And again, I just believe it was the way things lined up. The only other individual that I was stationed with, that I worked in the buoy yard with at that time, where I drove trailers and forklifts, was a super talented musician, wrote his own music, guitar, piano, all that. His name's Tanner Redmond. I was like, man, I could just do the first live session with him. Wouldn't be awkward. We're friends. Like, very low risk of looking stupid. So I did it. It was a success. Got a couple thousand views. The commanding officer of the base New Orleans heard it, liked it, and it gave me a lot of confidence. Like, I'll try this thing out. Then I started working with artists, and I was blessed to work with some pretty big names down the road. And it became something bigger than what I thought at a quick pace. So that I'm using that as kind of like the platform to, run with it.
Yeah, is that your passion, like recording live sessions? Because you also make music, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've like, I don't know where I'm going to end up, and sometimes I feel like, should I have a bigger, more clear path? Like, I don't know, but I think somehow, some way, I will end up in videography, music, like career-wise. But I know for now, like, I can make some money in that industry, and I can build more of a brand. And, like I said, without a wife or kid right now, like, now's the time to get at it.
Without a wife or kid?
Yeah, man. Because, like, I'll be real. You have to go.
Where are you going back to? Are you going back to Myrtle Beach?
Basically back to Dirty Myrtle. It's in Calabash, North Carolina, which is near it.
Dirty Myrtle,
man.
David Graham, a well-traveled young man in charge of public announcing or whatever, public affairs during one of the biggest crises in this decade, who managed that. So he obviously can handle tension. He can handle the heat. Talented YouTube channel, videographer, musician, would-be football player, definitely a soccer player, hard as a rock, ankles as soft as glass. Is coming back home without a wife and kids.
That's the way it goes, man.
Be careful, Myrtle Beach. He's coming. He's coming.
Back in these streets.
He's back in these streets.
Yeah, man.
They better get on it. Ladies, you know what to do. Go to church, love Jesus. Maybe you got a shot. Maybe. Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
So you started recording all these artists. Some of them some of them were already popping off, or
just kind of like on YouTube a little bit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, I just like simple reaching out on Instagram and social media, like, hey, I'll record a video for free. Like, just I want to put it on my YouTube channel, and just some things lined up, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
Crazy.
And then, are you planning on doing that type of video work when you're gone? So are you focusing on your freelance work, or are you focusing on your YouTube channel?
I think the biggest thing would be to build the brand name, the YouTube channel first, and then I started another channel.
And can you tell us what it is?
Truthful Sessions.
Truthful Sessions, yeah. Love it.
But
you got two, right?
Yeah, and then I started a new one called Truthful Productions, which is where I want to do like interviews and something kind of like this, which this was a big inspiration for sure. But yeah, just build those up, and then when money's tight or whatever, like do some client work, do what I got to do, make some money.
Yeah. That's sick, man. So what kind of opportunities are you looking forward to out there when you go back home?
Really just traveling, being around people, trying to be productive. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like now's the time to, I'm not worried about comfort at this stage of my life. Like, I'm not worried, but I'm more concerned about like building. You know what I mean? Building something.
So I was talking to one of my friends like a few years ago, actually, when I was thinking about, especially like right before COVID, thinking about what I wanted to do. I always had a passion for video and photo, like just creativity. And he kind of like really drove in my mind, like the importance of business in all of it. The importance of like making money.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I just want to produce the things that are on my heart,
Yeah.
you know, and like
yeah.
that's and to let my art shine and somebody buy it, you know.
Yeah.
And he told me, do you think that Michael Bay really wants to make Transformers? Do you really think that he's like, this is the song of my heart,
Yeah.
Transformers? He's like, no, but he does that because that movie pays for all the movies of Michael Bay's that you're not going to watch.
Yeah. That's
Right.
a really good point.
And so he was like, you have to get your business right
Yeah.
in order to fund a lot of the things that you want to do. You know,
Yeah.
you have to be a functioning business. You don't have to be a starving artist. Right. And doing your business right gives you the creativity and the freedom to be creative on all these other things. And so are you kind of going into this next season focused on building the business first?
Yeah, and I guess it does kind of get confusing because Truthful Sessions is bringing in revenue. So like when I say like build my YouTube, like it's not just a passion project. Like it is also to, you know, get that revenue up more and also do fair business. Like I've never charged any artist, you know, so far. That may change in the future. We'll see. But just really get those numbers up because that's the goal ultimately. Is to obviously be financially secure, but have enough money coming in because then you can make what you want, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter if it makes $1.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
So you never charged any of the artists that you did videos for?
So far, no.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just been a blessing, man. Like, I mean, I'd like to think God had His hand on it because I've never charged artists, but I've just worked with some that happened to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How would you like encourage somebody? Say somebody wants to start doing what you're doing, filming, making videos. Like, how would you encourage them to start? You said you were in the DMs.
Yeah. You know what Nardwar is?
I do know Nardwar.
Nardwar. I didn't watch the whole thing, but like a clip of one of his TED Talks. He's like, you know why people like they ask me how I get interviews with such famous, you know, significant people, whatever. He's like, I just ask. Like and he said, don't underestimate the power of asking. So I just like, especially now, like a DM is nothing. Like you can't have a fragile enough ego to where if someone doesn't respond to DMs, like that's nothing. You can send a DM. Like I don't do batch. Like I don't send the same DM to 40 different artists. Like I write a new one pretty much every time. But yeah, it's nothing. I mean, for every artist that does want to work with me, there's 30 or 40 that don't respond. So you just got to keep asking, like use your time wisely, you know, like take it easy on the Netflix and
yeah, that's true.
Hit some people up.
If you can watch Netflix, man, you can get something going, man. You can go DM 10 people.
Dude, I'm trying to cancel Netflix 2025 dude, or 2024.
I canceled it already, bro.
You did? No, I'm talking about cancel, like for real. Like,
yeah, I canceled it.
Cancel.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix, man. Ever since they took The Office off, I ain't watched Netflix. They took The Office off. They took Parks and Rec off, and I was done. Maybe that reveals something about my own character. I wasn't watching Pure Flicks. I just wasn't. But
you're watching The Chosen 24/7.
I've never seen The Chosen. Never seen that episode. My wife has watched it. I have never watched it. Yeah. I don't know where I stand yet about the second commandment. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Yeah.
Also, I just don't like Bible movies.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not.
You didn't like The Passion, bro?
That was awesome.
All right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Bro.
I'm just I might be just a hater, bro. Like I just might be a hater because I used to like it, but now that I'm in, like maybe I'm like I can do it better, but I can't. No, not better than that.
Oh.
But The Chosen.
Oh, gotcha.
Nah, but I just never watched it, to be honest. I don't do a lot of watching of things. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of like classes, things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't do a lot of Netflix. But I canceled it. But I do use Jolie's Peacock. Thank you, Jolie. Oh, Peacock, don't cancel me. I don't use that Peacock. We're in the same household. My bad.
Dang,
but
what do they got on Peacock, man?
The Office and Parks and Rec. Yeah. So I'm just on Peacock. Maybe so all that stuff that I said about canceling doesn't really matter because I'll be watching on Peacock. I canceled it and Jolie's paying for my Peacock. Thank you, Joe. No commercials too. He got the pro plan. The best plan. Yeah, dude. Cancel it, bro. You don't need
cancel it.
Yeah, what are you watching on there?
Bro, I mean, dude, I don't watch shows, man. People think I'm weird, but I don't watch
You're a
shows.
documentary guy.
Not even, man. I just like movies, dude.
Oh, you're a movie guy.
Yeah. I'll watch the same movie, like, not over and over again, but, like, if it's a year, I'll watch it again, dude.
For real?
Yeah. I remember on one deployment, they had this crazy Wi-Fi set up. And, you seen The Godfather, right?
I love The Godfather.
I literally...
Part 1 and 2. Part 3 sucked.
My roommates thought...
Part 3 was okay.
Nah, that was the one in, like, the 90s.
That was in the 90s.
Yeah,
it was
good.
The color was weird. It was
the cameras, everything was weird.
Yeah, it was weird looking.
Yeah. But nah, my roommates thought I was crazy because I literally watched Godfather 1 on repeat. Like, I was studying it. Because it's known as one of the greatest films ever.
One of the greatest, bro.
Yeah.
The opening scene with the cat.
Yeah.
Rubbing the cat.
And how that was totally random. Like, the actor, what's his name?
Marlon Brando.
Yeah, like he picked up the cat.
He picked up the cat.
Yeah. Dude, I love reading behind the scenes facts. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm all into that.
Bro, you ever seen Shot Deck?
No.
Bro, so it's one of my favorite things that I'm subscribed to. And it takes all the movies and it will show you, like, say you want to watch Blade Runner. You like the way the colors look. So they'll show you the lighting setup.
I've heard of this, yeah.
They'll show you the lenses that were used, the camera that was used.
Wow.
Like, basically how they set up the entire shot, dude.
That's dope.
And I look at that and I use it for inspiration. I'm like, dang, I wish I had that lens. You know, like, that's a $30,000 lens.
Yeah.
I'm so close.
Dang, dude.
But like, I love it just for inspiration. But yeah, I watch The Godfather. That's one of the movies I can watch over and over again.
Yeah.
Any recent ones that you watch over again, or?
Man. Nah, I mean, I watch a lot of classics, man. Like Last of the Mohicans is one of my favorites.
Never seen it.
Dang, dude. Last of the Mohicans. One of my favorite movies ever. And a lot of people, I mean, it didn't do that great, was Lawless.
Bro, Lawless was legit.
What was really cool is that both of my brothers, like my grandpa, he was in World War II, lived in Georgia on this property. And
Prohibition period?
Yeah, he might have ran a little,
a little moonshine
for his cousins or something.
Yo.
But anyways, he one thing, he had the same mug and would sit on his porch, like had the same exact mug as the dude in Lawless, Tom Hardy's character. But what's crazy is that both of my brothers who grew up with my grandpa go on his property, they called me individually without talking to each other and said, "You have to see this movie. This character in it is just like Grandpa." Talking about Tom Hardy's character. Like, they both called me and said that. So, like, that movie is, like, kind of, like, sentimental in a weird way.
Yeah,
but that's one of my
yeah,
favorites, man.
Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude, so your grandpa, what was he like, man? Cool guy?
I mean, I was so young. He was in World War II, obviously. Like, I barely remember him. I just remember, like, small little things. I was playing with the G.I. Joe Harley, like, one of the old school from World War II. And I remember him being like, I used to drive one of those. And, like, I just heard crazy stories about him. He was like from the movies. Like, my brother told me one time some dudes came up on four-wheelers on his land. He's like, "Get off my land." And like, he was kind of deaf, and they're like, "All right, we're leaving." And before they were talking, he like shot around in the air. He's like, "Get off my land." Like, he was old school, man. Old school.
Dang, man. That's crazy.
And he dressed just like the dude, like the same like sweaters, dude. It was like, it was almost weird watching that movie. Like, yeah.
Bro, Tom Hardy played a great American, man. That was one of the best Americans I ever seen.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, yeah, that movie was pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
I liked it.
What about you? You got a recent favorite movie?
I just watched The Polar Express. Fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said, yeah, I try to watch it with my kids. I don't know. I don't really have a recent favorite. Maybe Dune. I like Dune.
Dune.
But just because
the old one, like the new one's not out.
The
new old one.
The new old one. Yeah, the new part one. Dune part one. I like that film.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. The sound design and stuff was
sound
really cool.
design is crazy. Yeah. So I like that. But man, I really like the art. One of the crazy things that I didn't know that video and photo could become was doing what we're doing, what both of us are doing. And I was talking to I talked to a lot of people out there. You actually helped inspire me to do a podcast because I saw what you were doing with Truthful Sessions. And I was like, oh, that's so sick. Because, yeah, I always like seeing Christians in the art space, in the creative space. Because I think my perspective on it was always like, man, God is a creator, and we don't have to give up ground to the world, right? We should be making the best art that we possibly can, and we should be doing the best that we possibly can. If our inspiration comes from the one who created all things, that's how I viewed it.
Yeah,
like God is the first artist, man, and I want to be an artist just like my father, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he put that into some of us, not everybody. And I think, yeah, it's just like, why aren't we using that, you know? If he did give us that desire, passion, or somewhat talent, if we have any. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I had a question, though. As I was thinking about you being in, how long have you been in this job that you didn't like?
I think about 2.5 years.
Okay. So
I liked it, didn't love it.
you didn't love it, right? Like, it wasn't the thing that you woke up and went, I'm doing exactly what God has called me to do on this earth. You didn't have that feeling necessarily, or the feeling like that.
But I also like feel convicted because I didn't like, because I always fought the feeling of like, I know I'm supposed to be content.
Right.
And that was hard.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you talk to Christians, like, well, you need to be content. And I agree. It was just hard to do, man. It was really hard.
So that, I guess that's what I wanted to ask you is, what was it like? What did it look like for you? Because there's probably people listening that are in a job or in a position right now that they don't really like. It's not really like their passion that they're doing necessarily, but it's the way that God's providing for them. So how would you like encourage them to like approach their job? How did you approach your job, trying to glorify God in something that you weren't absolutely passionate about, you know, which is most of the things that we do on a regular basis anyway.
So, like, how did I approach glorifying God in my day job is what you're saying?
Yeah, in your day job, yeah.
I probably didn't do that great of a job at it, but no, I mean, there's little remarks, you know, around the office. Like, I guess I'm kind of known as the Christian somewhat, at least to some people, which is cool. But no, I mean, it's a lot of times I try to like hear other people's stories first. Like, what do they believe versus like, hey, what's your name? Cool. Well, this is what I believe. You know what I mean? Like, I try to hear what they believe and then try to give my, you know, faith in Jesus.
So you just saw it as like a missional opportunity as well.
Yeah, somewhat. Okay. Again, I don't think I killed it at all. Like, I mean, but I think there were opportunities I did, you know those moments. I'm sure you have a lot more confidence than me when it comes to those moments where it's like, all right, showtime. Like, this person opened that door to like talk about God. Like, because it is interesting sometimes, like small things, like in the military, for me, you know, people have like certain sinful desires or whatever. Sometimes it take years of fighting. For me, cussing was literally an overnight thing. And that happened when I was a non-rate in Louisiana. And it was so sudden that I remember my coworkers like, you're not cussing anymore? Like, it was weird to him. And so that was a certain thing. But in the military, I didn't realize like that sticks out if you don't cuss. You've heard the phrase, talk like a sailor or whatever.
Yep, curse like a sailor.
Yeah. So like it's funny how that, I've heard that just being enough to being like, I've heard people around the office being like, oh, so he's a Christian, like he takes it serious. You know what I mean? And I've had opportunities where someone from work would be like, they'll just randomly start talking about their experience with God. You know what I mean? Because they obviously feel comfortable, like they know I believe in God. They know it's significant in my life. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
I guess like don't forsake the small things is a big thing I learned. You know what I mean? Like the small actions you do. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny that you say that because a lot of the people that are connected to our church that are part of the Coast Guard, they're all connected through somebody that you knew, that you either shared the gospel with or that you that they just knew you were the Christian guy. Even like Chris, you know, is one of them. And I was gonna ask you, it's funny that you were saying that because I was gonna ask you that. How are you like so bold about your faith? And then it seems like you're like, I wasn't that bold.
Not bold. I mean, it depends what day you catch me, man.
Yeah.
Nah, Chris was different because we made music together back in the day. And like I look at him as like a little brother, even though he's a couple months older than me. But nah, we were close. And looking back, it was kind of funny because he moved down to Louisiana with me. And, you know, I remember asking him, like, what do you believe and stuff? And he, you know, just like many people, like, oh, I grew up Catholic or I grew up this one thing, but I don't really know, don't really think about it much, which I kind of didn't believe, but maybe he was speaking the truth. And then it was just kind of funny. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to read the Bible every night. Like, I'm just going to make you listen. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'd pray and stuff. And I guess because I just cared about him so much as a brother, like it was just like natural. Like I didn't feel nervous about being like, oh, he's going to think I'm weird. It's like, reading the Bible. You know what I mean? And man, I'm super thankful for you and your church. Like y'all, like I was awesome that we discovered your preaching through checking out the different locations, and I knew it was going to be a great thing. Like when he told me that he had the desire to, potentially go and help build your church or help start it, I was like, dude, that I didn't like say all this, but in my mind, I'm like, that could be one of the best things for him. So,
oh, dude, it was one of the best things for us, bro. Having Chris around, and it was his commitment to the church, right? Like not necessarily at a personal level, he was a blessing. At a personal level, he was an encouragement to us. But the fact that he stuck around through us being in that little location, that we were set up, tear down. He jumped on and used his music gifts for like to serve our church, and he was unreal, like singing and leading worship for us. He ended up leading a bunch of songs and like just got involved, and I think he was a testament to a lot of people who like he's just a testimony of what it means to like get involved in a church, and he was such a blessing. Like it was hard to see him leave,
Yeah.
It was hard to see him walk away. At the same time, like, man, you could see the fruit of the Spirit in him, just because of his love for God's people.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that people often forget, going back to the stuff we said in the beginning about community. It's like saying that you love Jesus without loving his bride, which is what he refers to the church as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you think that's going to go across?
Yeah.
David Graham comes up to Christian and goes, I love you, but that Leah, I can't stand her. I think we'd have a hard time being friends. Like I don't think we'd be boys.
Yeah.
And so how much love do you think Jesus has for his people? As messed up as she is, right? Jesus died for his bride, man. Like, and so for me, watching Chris, it was like the walking, living testimony of a commitment to God's people, and that was amazing, man. And just hearing, being able to be there for him,
Yeah.
So I thank you for bringing him and for introducing him and coming through, even though you didn't come with us, but it's all good.
Yeah, dude. But me and Chris, like there was a time where we didn't like hang out for a while, and then that was actually time like I think he really made strides with his relationship with God. Like he became basically a believer in that time period, and like it was crazy, like being around him after and being like, oh, this is different. And I think as Christians, we know like you can be friends with somebody, but when they're also a brother or sister in Christ, it's way different. It's not even a different level. It's a different,
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
They're a new person, right?
Yeah.
You're a new person. No longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me.
Yeah. So
And,
being around him, it's just like, wow, like I feel like I can talk about certain things and it's not like Chinese to him. Like he knows what I'm talking about.
I gotta be Chinese.
Chris don't speak Chinese, right? That's all I'm saying.
That's all you. He don't speak Hawaiian either.
No, dude. I don't know. I feel like Chinese may be harder.
It is harder than Hawaiian. Bro, so Chris and I talked about this last time he was on, but what was it like rolling up to Sand Island, bro?
I know.
It's just being in Hawaii.
Dude, that's Chris's hood, bro.
Did you ever live in Sand Island?
No.
Oh, what?
No.
You never lived Sand Island?
I got I'm an E4, dog. Petty
What does that
officer.
even mean? What is E4?
It's one rank
I know
above
about
him.
E3. Oh,
Yeah, but I get to live out in the economy. I don't have to live in the barracks
Oh,
with the
snap.
non-rats.
Oh,
like Chris.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
I'm out here
E4.
living,
you live in the dream.
I'm out here.
Wow.
But nah, I visited him a couple times. Sand Island's special for sure. Got a special place.
That's an ugly beach, though.
It smells.
That's the sand is dirty.
It is.
The water can't be clean.
I don't know. I mean, I've been in it. I'll jump right in
For
it.
real? You jump in there?
Oh yeah.
They got no waves there, but like
There's sometimes.
is the
never
water
surfed
circulating in there?
I don't know.
Guaranteed bacteria is high over there, bro.
It'll strengthen your immune system.
That's what they all say. Next thing you know, you got 3 legs, bro. Growing out your head. Dang, man, that's crazy. Wow, so go ahead.
But now, before we leave the Chris situation, like he came on here and said, when he told me he mentioned me, I'm like, uh-oh. So I watched it, whatever. I was gonna watch it anyways.
Oh, okay.
But,
Thank you for your review.
Hey, every view counts, man.
Every
I'm
view
in the
counts,
game.
man.
I'm in the
Like,
game.
share, subscribe, comment.
Comment for more.
Bro, yeah, dude, do it all. Repost. I don't care. Repost, tag me.
Yeah.
No, don't repost this video.
But no, I mean, I feel like he talked a lot of good, but like I definitely want to say, like, I definitely like screwed up big time in front of him too. Like he saw me on fire for God, and he saw me like fading away, like kind of stop going to church. He saw me fall into some major sins. Like he saw, and he also saw the conviction that came after. Like it wasn't just like, you know, screw up, like wake up the next day like everything was normal. Like I think part of it is that I never tried to excuse it to him, even when he had no idea, like none of the, you know what I'm saying, to people of the world, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But I still like when I'm trying to witness, no matter who it is, to somebody, and if I'm living a certain way, it's like, you know, there's obviously friction there, or conviction even. But yeah, like I always kind of kept it honest. Like I never was like, well, this isn't a sin. Like I was like, even he didn't want an explanation, but I would still explain to him like, I screwed up here. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that was maybe used in a good way. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying like I think that might have helped in the long run.
You're saying that not like you weren't always on
Straight and narrow.
the straight and narrow. Like you were like part of your testimony is that kind of path of sanctification's up and down.
Yeah, and he saw that, and that's why I kind of feel like he didn't really include that, which is cool. But like it wasn't just like David the Christian faithful believer, and you know it was like he saw me screw up too, you know. But thankfully, you know that didn't matter enough to him to where it's like, oh, all Christians are hypocrites or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think about that a lot. Just even putting out content, right? Or like for me, even being a pastor, like it's interesting that like we're calling people to this high calling, but I think people might get it twisted and think that we're calling people to this high calling because we live up to this high calling. It's not. It's just that we're calling people to this high calling because this is what our Savior calls us to. This is what God says to call people to. We fall short, and that's why Jesus is here. That's why Jesus is important.
yeah.
And I think that what you're saying is just crucial to anybody's witness. I think when we try to put this false facade that everything in our life is like, just everything's always good. We're always right with God. We're always right with Jesus.
I was bad, now I'm good.
I was bad, now I'm good. Never been bad since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to sin. Oh, what was that like?
Yeah.
I forget what that was like, you know?
You know the small groups like that too. Yeah.
How could you possibly like sin?
Yeah.
How could you possibly like drinking with your friends? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's a good time. Right? And so when you do that, you set yourself up for failure because you can't live up to that. Even this side of heaven, right? When Jesus comes and makes all things new, I won't struggle with my sin anymore. I won't struggle with the same things. I won't struggle with guilt or shame or anything like that. But until then, I'm being sanctified. I'm being made like Jesus. And there's some rough edges that are constantly being chipped away. And I don't live my life just constantly being hypocritical on purpose, right? Because if that's the case, then you're just not a Christian.
Yeah.
If you're like, no, I enjoy this sin, I'm just acting.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not a Christian. It's fine. But at the same time, like as Christians, man, we do what Paul says. We boast in our weaknesses. We boast in our failures, our faults, because it's in our weakness that God's power is made perfect, right? Like that's where you see the goodness of the gospel. That God can save even someone as bad as me. You know what I mean? With all my struggles. And I think that's the message we got to be telling people. You know, that's the big message, you know? Like if you look at the Apostle Paul in his early letters, he calls himself the least of the apostles. I am out of all the 12 guys that God selected, I'm the least of those. That's okay. That's the least, right? And by the end of his letters, he's like, I am the chief of all sinners.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the chief of sinners, but God was gracious to me. And so he has this view of himself. Like the older he gets, you realize, man, I wasn't good. I'm not good.
Yeah.
But God is good, you know, and God is gracious. And I think that as Christians, we got to start saying that. And I think we get so mad about other people's sin. I'm not saying that the sin out there in the world isn't legit. I have kids. Like the sin out there is wild. You know, I'm homeschooling my kids. I don't want nobody indoctrinating my kids.
Sure. Yep.
Like I'll talk to my own kids about the standards that we have for righteousness, you know, and God's goodness and God's glory and all that. I'll give them that foundation, not the foundation in the world. At the same time, I never want my kids to be more angry about sin that exists out there in the world. Because the sin that exists out there in the world, that didn't damn you to hell.
Yeah.
The only sin that's going to damn you to hell, the only sin that's going to cause you to not be right with God is your sin, is the sin that you commit. And so deal with that first,
Yeah.
And so I know that it's hard for like people that are actively witnessing. I think you and me would fall in that category. People that we share the gospel with people when we can, when we give it the opportunity. Not perfectly, not always.
Me, definitely less than you, but yeah.
Well,
no, there's levels to this. No.
It's just that Sunday comes every Sunday. Sunday just happens every week. But at the same time, right? At the same time, we're sharing the gospel, and we never want to make it seem like we're beyond the gospel, because we're never beyond the gospel. Yeah. I think that's crucial for Christians. You don't have to have it all together. That's why Jesus matters. If you could have it all together, you don't need Jesus. Yeah. And if you don't need Jesus, that means he died for nothing. Right? He died, like, the cost was great because we needed that cost. Yeah. And when Jesus prayed, if there's any other way, yeah. And there was no other way than his death, Yeah, it's crazy. Man. What are you most looking forward to when you get home, man? What, like, not business, not job, what are you most looking forward to?
I guess freedom. Just being able to like go visit.
Is it because we live in a blue state called Hawaii? What kind of freedom you talking about?
No, I mean like driving. Like if I want to go to West Virginia, like
that kind of freedom.
Yeah, drive around some.
Freedom of movement.
Yeah. I just love the South, bro. My appreciation for the South has grown. Not saying people aren't friendly here, but like I just love, Southern hospitality.
There's a special kind of friendly in the South, bro. I went to school in the South.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a special kind of friendly. It's really friendly.
Yeah. Nah, I miss it. I mean, just the vibes, the open roads, road trips, like, yeah. Hawaii was dope, though. You'll never hear me. I mean, I got a property out here, apartment I'm going to try to hold on to. I could be back here. I just got to go get my money straight.
Let's go get the money right. It's expensive out here, though.
Yeah, dude.
Your grocery bill about to be better.
Yeah.
You guys got Costco out there?
Oh, yeah, man. It's crazy. I've never been to Costco until I came here.
For real? Is it bigger?
I was a club man until I came here.
Sam's Club? Yeah. The blue?
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah. I went to it a couple times here, and people are like, man, you got to get converted to Costco.
Bro, Costco.
I was like, yeah, changed my ways.
Dude, Costco's legit. I like Sam's Club too. It just has a different vibe.
It's like a nicer Walmart.
It's a nicer Walmart.
That's what someone explained to me. I'm like, dang, that's right.
Sam's Club is Walmart. Upgraded.
Yeah.
It might even be connected to Walmart. I don't know.
It is.
It is?
So. Pretty sure.
Okay. And Costco is like the upgraded Target.
Yeah. And Target's already nice where I'm from.
Target's nice, bro. You can do some shopping at Target.
We never did grocery shopping at Target.
You can do some shopping at Target, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought some clothes for Vietnam at Target. Like on my way to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Target's nice. Yeah, dude, I would love to visit the East Coast, man.
Yeah. If you ever come through, man, let me know.
Yeah?
I mean, I'll probably be running up and down the East Coast for a little while trying to get it, but I'll be somewhere there.
Bro, how do you guys view us West Coast people? Is it a different vibe? Like, is it a different?
You consider yourself West Coast? West Side?
Yeah, I consider myself West Coast, yeah.
That's crazy, because I would not. Nah, dude. I'll plead the fifth on that.
What do you guys think about us? What do you guys think about us? Like, what do you guys think about us, like California to Hawaii guys?
You don't want to know, man.
Hawaii is different.
Honest. Hawaii is different than West Coast.
I want to be connected to the West Coast.
I've never once heard a Southerner talk about Hawaiians.
For real?
But West Coast people?
When I was in the South, Southerners did talk about Yankees.
Yeah, of course. Yankees, man.
They talked about Yankees. That's what they did. Like, I'm not even lying. They were still using the term Yankees.
Yeah.
You guys called soda Coke.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You get a Coke?
I never called it pop.
I was like, can I get a Coke? What kind? I'm like, yo.
Oh, you mean
Coke.
soda.
Soda.
Okay.
Well, at least in Tennessee, they called it that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about us? Like, what's the culture? What's the difference? What's one thing you're like, it's a little weird that what you guys do?
Dude. West Coast, man, I just think they look at them as more like conceited.
East Coast people?
Yeah, East Coast.
Because you're East Coast and South.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
South.
So this is what I think about East Coast. So I'm going to tell you this. You guys are very blunt.
Really?
Yeah, very blunt.
I think more of the Yankees are more blunt. Southerners be a little more. You know what I'm saying? They got the
Not
Southern
Southerners,
dialect.
but see, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So you're
Are
trying
you
to
are you more
separate
are you more Southern or are you more East Coast?
I'm on the coast, bro. I'm on the beach. I can't be. You know what I mean?
But you're not as like, you know, like I'm talking about like the people I
Yankees.
met from New York. They're
Yeah.
like, or New Jersey. They just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
But you're not that.
Nah.
You're East Coast South.
Yeah, we put that Southern charm on it. You know?
Okay. I don't like you, kind of.
You ain't my favorite.
Is that like you ain't my favorite? That's what you guys would say. It's not that I don't like you. You're just not my favorite person.
You know, I got family. I got people. You know, I grew up with.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Dude, are you gonna be back with your family when you get back?
Yeah,
Like your
with my
brothers?
mom and my one of my brothers he's probably gonna be picking me up from the airport. My other brother's like 5 hours away. Like sisters are all there. So, but I told him I'm not getting out of the military to come babysit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll spend some time.
Not,
Nah,
bro. I'm gonna tell you this about.
dude, I could have stayed one more year in Hawaii. Like, 'cause I took a sacrifice.
Let me tell you this about where you're. How many nephews and nieces you got?
I gotta count them. I got a few.
For real, you got a few on 2 hands, 1 hand.
I think it's 2.
All right. Your siblings are struggling right now. You are. I mean, you know how we talked about you're coming home, all the ladies in Myrtle Beach get ready. You're a well-traveled, well-seasoned machine. You've seen the world. Well, in a greater way, your siblings are looking at you like the great hope. The hope that they be able to go to Chili's with just the two of them. Or maybe at Applebee's, you know.
Yeah.
The hope that they could go watch a movie and it not be rated G. They need you right now. They're in desperate need.
They gotta keep hoping, bro.
They need you. You are a vessel of the gospel to them.
Yeah.
The good news that
Hey,
maybe
I'll take the
maybe
kids to church. If they want to go to church alone, you know what? I'm there for that.
they're in their mind, bro. There's a possibility that sparks can once again fly in their marriage because Uncle David's coming home. They need you. They need the younger brother to step up.
Yeah. I'm not their savior.
No, you're like I'm not. Jesus is the only way.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the only savior. I can't save you, bro. That's a ministry right there, though.
What? Babysitting?
Babysitting. Guarantee you meet your wife. Babysitting.
Who? How?
Guarantee. I don't know.
If I'm babysitting,
Bro,
aren't these people married?
I guarantee. No, I'm talking about no, not. If you join say you babysit and you join one of those babysitting communities on Facebook, like a Facebook group, Myrtle Beach Babysitters. You jump on there.
I see what you're saying.
I'm just here to babysit. I babysit my kids. I don't babysit anybody else's kids, but I could use help with these 8. Next thing you know, whatever her name is, Tina. Tina's just like, I think I'm going to go help that young man. He's a well-traveled machine.
Well,
Former service member. Coming back home.
What if I ain't good with kids, man?
Oh, if you're not, okay, that's okay. You can't babysit, bro. You got to expose weaknesses, and you're not good with kids.
Nah, I think I'm all right.
I'm not good with kids, bro, and I got 5 of them.
Yeah.
My arms get sore when I hold them. You know, like I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but like I can't wait till they run.
Be free.
You know what I'm saying? Be free, have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I like my kids running around. No, but having kids is fun, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like. It's really fun. It's really sad. Like it's really like satisfying to me. Like if I didn't have kids, I don't know. For me personally, like I was coaching, but like this is the most fun I've ever had is having kids. And for me, it's not when they're little. Like it's like seeing them grow, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade.
Yeah.
Just seeing them pick up stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like learn stuff. The scariest part is they struggle with the same things that you struggle with. They struggle with.
Like what?
Like say I complain a lot. Which doesn't happen, you know. But say I complain a lot. You'll hear those same complaints come out in your kids. And you want to scold them for it. But you know where they got it from.
Yeah.
Like you'll see your strengths replicated, and you'll see your weaknesses like replicated as well.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Makes you want to tighten up.
Makes you want to tighten up, you know. And then if you're slow like me, you don't, and it just keeps going, and you're like, I would
just create mini-me's.
Just creating mini-me's, and you're like, man, we got to do better, guys. So I'm with my son, like, we're in this together, buddy. We're going to get better at this. Yeah, man. But it's good. What's one of the biggest things you learned just being out here in Hawaii? What's God been teaching you?
I don't know. Like, there's a purpose in everything. Yeah, I don't know. That's a heavy one. Yeah, probably like there's a purpose in everything. Because out here, it's kind of felt like it was almost like a pause on my life. And then also, like, when my dad passed, like, my biggest fear happened, like, being far away. And it actually, like, once the dust settled, I realized it actually was a bigger blessing because due to the fact of me being so far away and having such a great command and work environment, that they let me take more time off. Versus if I was stationed somewhere on the East Coast, I'd be like, you know, because I spent 5 weeks over 5 weeks in the hospital with him when he was sick. And then I took another 2 weeks for the service and everything. So, like, I realized after, like, my biggest fear became one of my biggest blessings. Like, because I was so far away, I got to spend almost the most time with him in the end. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, obviously, like, in that itself, it's like, don't fear, don't worry. Like, things are going to work out. But,
like, how was that when your dad passed, man?
I mean, it was rough. I mean, you know, I wasn't naive. You know, my dad was in his 70s. And I learned a lot through that, man, as anyone does. And even before my dad passed, before he got sick and everything, I remember talking to my close friends and being like, you know, when my dad passes, I could never look up to God shaking my fist, you know, because my dad was so great. He was a role. I'm not just saying this, like, multiple generations have said my dad, he was called Big Earn in the community.
Yep.
He was known as a role model, like a father figure even for many kids, like a coach, soccer coach. So I had such a great father, you know, a great role model for a husband as well, businessman, like treated people. I've seen him give cars away. I've seen him, you know, let struggling mothers, like, don't worry about your car bill, you know, into auto shop. Like, just a great man. Yeah, I went to a homeless shelter with him. He led a men's ministry. And so I just realized, like, God blessed me so much. When this does happen, I could never be mad with God, but all I could do is turn to him and say thank you. You know, it's like he gave me this, one of the greatest gifts you could ever have, and told me, you know, one day I'm going to take this back. And he did. And all I can say is thank you. You know, not everybody has that gift or that great of a gift. You know, I remember being a kid and I had, like, young, you know, 7 years old, 6 or whatever, and having friends be like, hey, let's go play in the backyard. And they'd be like, no, I want to stay here with your dad in the garage. He was fixing something. I remember being kind of jealous and, like, kind of mad at young. And as I got older, I'm like, oh, that was my friend who didn't have a dad. Like, my dad was like his dad, and he wanted to spend time with him. It was just things, obviously as a kid, like, is what it is. But, you know, looking back, it's like I took that for granted for a lot of times. I was truly blessed, man. So it's like just ultimately thankful. Obviously, it's sad, you know, but he was a believer. He was a big reason I decided to get out. Because that's another crazy thing. I was supposed to sign my 1-year extension, and I didn't. Like, I just kept putting it off and off. My dad got sick, and then I was in the hospital, and that's, you know, when I realized, like, you know what, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna get out. Like, you know, life is short. You know, I'm seeing my dad in the hospital and ICU and stuff. It's like, life is short. Like, I'm gonna take the risk, and that's what he always encouraged. I actually interviewed him 2 years before he passed, and I said, what's your biggest piece of advice? He said, go for your dreams and have them. So that was a big reason too. Like, that's also a deeper reason where it's like, I can always go back to the safe job. I can always do these things. Like, my dad would have wanted me to go for it. So
Good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that because I saw that interview with you and your dad.
Yeah.
And I loved it. That was the thing that inspired me to do this one because I saw that.
Yeah.
And I had my dad on. Yeah. And I was listening to your dad's story about him surfing, being in Hawaii, traveling, just all the things that he was doing, working on cars and things like that. And it seemed like your dad was a great guy. I was going to ask you, like, what did it mean for you having that video now?
Man, it was always in the back of my head too, man. Like, time capsules, you know, kind of like, I was like, man, I got to do this. And we were planning to go on another camping trip, and I was going to do another one with my mom and dad together. But that, you know, a couple months, like basically a month before that, he went to the hospital. But man, I'm thankful I did that video, dude. Like, and I did that ultimately thinking, not really for myself, but like for my kids and like grandkids, you know, to look back. Cause I wish I had a video of my grandpa, you know, telling World War II stories or just growing up. But that was just something I did. I'm super, super thankful. Right now, you know, he passed away still not that long ago, so I can't watch it right now. But, you know, I'll definitely get to that place again. Yeah. For sure.
Bro, that's tough, dude. I can't imagine going through that. And I know that the time is coming, you know, eventually. My dad was always, my father, my dad, he was always kind of drilling that in us from when we were kids.
Drilling what?
The idea that he won't always be here. And kind of just preparing us, you know, like preparing us to walk the road. Cause I know for him, it was hard losing his parents. And, like for me personally, like I have stories of my grandpa, just like you know, you have stories of your grandpa. Yeah. And I wish I threw that camera on him. You know, I wish I was able to, you know, but it's cool that you have that with your pops, you know?
Yeah. Now you do too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a great medium, you know, like that's the thing I love about this is like, man, we get to talk and we get to just hear the stories and the testimony. Cause your dad was that's a testimony, man. Yeah. Dude, he was doing some stuff.
Yeah, man. He lived a full life.
Life, man.
And man, I mean, we had, and statistically even speaking, I've had a lot of addiction in my family, and like for him to live all the way to 70 in his 70s, that to not have any kids pass away or any major tragedies, like he was a very blessed man. Like he won, you know, successful marriage, successful business, healthy family. Like he did it, you know.
Love the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. And at his funeral, someone came up to me and said, and I didn't even recognize him at first. It's a really old couple. And they were like, you know, your father. And as you talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember y'all. Y'all were old when I was a kid, when we used to go to church. I didn't say that, but
I was like, did you tell him that?
As she was talking, I'm like, wow, dude, this is trippy. And anyway, she's like, your dad's testimony is still on the DVD that we play for newcomers in our church. Like his testimony is still being used today for God's glory. I was like, man, awesome to hear, dude.
Dude, to get a like just to live, I'm sure, just to live a bit like your dad would be like incredible.
Yeah.
Like just,
sure.
I'm glad that you're going for it, bro. Yeah. If that's why, especially if that's why, I'm glad you're going for it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he would want for sure.
Yeah. Don't play it safe, man. Life's too short.
Yeah.
Your dad did not play it safe. That's a crazy video, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's exciting, though. It's exciting for you, man. I'm excited for all the stuff you got going on, man. Yeah. Man, you worried about anything when you go back?
I feel like maybe I should be, but I'm really not, man. Like, God blessed me with some savings, so it's not like I'm sitting here dead broke. Like, you know, I have some savings to fall back on, but I just got to send it, dude. We'll see what happens.
How many cameras you rolling with?
I only got 2 right now, man.
Which one?
The Sony FX30 and the Sony A7 III. I mean, they're not fancy, but like they'll get the job done for what I'm doing. It ain't what you got, it's how you use it.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
You know?
We got to get you another FX30.
I know, dude, because that's the thing. Like,
that thing is so good, bro.
Yeah. And then it starts to get kind of crappy when you try to match the footage from different cameras.
Yeah. Which is what I'm about to do. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is 2 completely different cameras. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the big boy though.
Yeah, the big boy. Sucks to work with though. It's a rather large file.
Yeah, I believe it.
Dude, so are you using AI at all, like for your edits or no?
Nah, dude. I'm probably doing things in such a unproductive way.
Yeah, I try to do the AI, but like it makes my job harder. I feel.
What do you mean AI? Like with the editing?
Yeah, like try to do autopod or something like that, like something that cuts up the podcast.
That's what I was gonna think about doing. I heard it's not seamless. Like
it sucks.
Yeah,
it made my work harder because I got to go find the cuts. I gotta go find the crappy cuts, you know, and then like
Yeah.
find it and then like delete it and recut.
Yeah.
Not it. One, switch to DaVinci. You use DaVinci? Way better than Premiere. Premiere sucks.
How much is it?
Bro, if you buy a Blackmagic camera, it comes for free. I didn't buy
how much is the Blackmagic? 4, 5, 6 grand?
Not $2,000.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy a Blackmagic camera, but my friend did. So you probably got some friends out there that have bought the camera that like they don't even use the DaVinci.
And you don't have to pay for it every month?
No, you just buy it. It's outright.
Dang.
Yep, DaVinci Resolve Studio, bro. You got the pro version and everything. I love it.
I'm gonna have to grow
It's
up
the
and
best.
do it one day.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's like Final Cut and Premiere had a baby that far surpassed any of them. They had a child that was nothing like them, was just way better in every way,
The star.
and then wanted nothing to do with his parents because they sucked. That's what
Story
Da
of
Vinci
its
is.
time,
That's what
man.
Da Vinci is, man. It's legit, dude. I'm telling you, you got to try it.
Yeah.
You got to try Da Vinci Resolve, bro. One, get another FX30. I'm telling myself the same thing.
They're not, yeah, I mean, they're pretty cheap in the camera world for sure.
I wish I could have one. Yeah. It's always like I'm not wealthy enough to have multiple same cameras. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel that way? Like, I'm like, bro,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, I don't have enough money to have the same camera. So I got to have cameras that do different things. Now they just suck it when I got to use them both. Dang.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for you, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
Nah, I appreciate this, man.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I'm sure there are a lot of things I left out or wanted to say, but save it for the next episode.
Dude, next episode we got to jump on. Maybe we'll do it in Myrtle Beach.
On the beach.
There's a beach out there?
It's a beach.
Bro,
on
is you
the
guys beach? Okay, sorry. Is the beach cold out there? Because California
Nah,
beaches,
dude,
they suck. They're cold.
It's warm, bro.
For real?
Yeah. Bathtub warm in the summer.
Bathtub warm. Okay,
So, I
that's,
mean,
not,
it's
that's
not-
not the kind of warm that I was.
Nah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not like,
But you guys don't have like clear water either.
nah, Dookie Brown, a lot of places.
Bro, hold on, wait, bro. Dookie
Nah,
Brown,
man, it's
bro.
green.
Why can't it be just brown, bro? Dookie Brown. That's a very specific type of brown,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
Dookie
Nah, I mean,
Brown.
it's a little greenish. I mean, it depends area. I mean, it might be a little dookie greenish too, but it's like,
That's not a beach.
it's a beach, man.
Oh, bro, man.
But you go more north a little bit. Like Myrtle Beach, kind of dirty. You don't want to go to like the beach in Myrtle Beach. North Myrtle Beach is better. Sunset Beach is a lot nicer. Look, it's pretty much green. But I mean,
But you guys only get sunrises out there, right?
yeah.
See that?
Hey, you can't have everything, man.
See, that bothers me.
Why?
So you see the sunset, but it's not by water. It's just like over some mountains.
No mountains, man. It's flat out there.
Oh, bro, for real?
Yeah.
It's just flat.
Flat.
Oh, jeez.
It's different, man.
Wow. The
You're used to
plains.
Hawaii, man.
I'm used to Hawaii. Like I went to the beach. I went to one beach before on the East Coast. Second year, sophomore year, college, I drove down to Panama City expecting a beach. It was cold. It was dirty. Smelled kind of funny.
Yeah, that's where people go to party, ain't
Bro,
it?
that's what I learned. That was a party place, bro. I stayed in and watched Redbox the whole time. That's where I watched the movie Hurt Locker like 3 times.
Nice.
Remember Hurt Locker?
Yeah, yeah.
Defusing the bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I watched. I just watched that movie because the beach sucks so bad, bro. And dude, I tried to go to a club. I tried to be in the club. I tried to like go and just enjoy.
Yeah.
Could never enjoy it, bro. It was never fun to me.
The club?
Yeah, because I guess like going go to the club just going with your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like bro, like I would just like go. I'm going back to the room.
Yeah.
I was just never into it ever.
Huh.
Yeah, because I grew up in Waipahu, so like, just hang out with your friends.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like we'd much rather just hang out with your friends.
For sure. Yeah, I never did the club thing.
Yeah, I like small town, hanging out on the porch, hanging out on a balcony, hanging out in the front of your house. Like that's what I like. Still to this day, I'd rather just hang out
Yeah.
at a house, you know,
Yeah, I feel
than
that.
go out. Except for, actually, never mind. I do like going to nice restaurants. I do like hold on.
Yeah.
Actually, I do like
Talking like fine dining,
Fine-
like some Olive Garden we're talking
some Olive
here,
Garden, bro. I do like me some Olive Garden. Yeah, I do. I do like some fine dining. I do like going out. I like to go to movies. So,
Dude, I love movies, man. I
Bro,
go by myself.
I go by myself too,
You do?
bro. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. Well, before I had kids.
Okay.
Now I got kids. It's like a little harder. But I will admit, dude, when Top Gun Maverick came out, my wife took all of my kids and watched Jurassic Park
No way.
to let me watch Top Gun Maverick with my brother.
The movie was dope.
It was dope, dude.
Yeah.
I felt bad, bro. I felt bad, but I
Your
said,
boy might have liked it, but you're just like, nah.
"Who's that? My son?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. He went with my wife to watch Jurassic Park. I feel kind of guilty about that.
I'm saying he might have liked Maverick, dude.
But she said it was okay. She said it was fine. She said she could take the kids, and that's what I did, bro. My wife holds it down in movie theaters. One time I watched Spider-Man, and my wife was like, you're getting irritated with the kids. Just go sit over there. So I sat by myself, and my wife was just like holding all the kids, bro. I was like, should I go over there?
Gangster. That's cool,
don't know.
man.
Well, it's cool for me, but I don't think it's cool. I got to step up.
I know. No, I mean, that's cool. She can handle it. I mean,
Dude, she's a beast, man.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
That's like, I think the reason I'm able to do stuff that I do is because my wife like holds it down.
Yeah.
Like I'm not able to do any of this. I'm not able to like work at the church. I'm not able to do like the side businesses or whatever if my wife wasn't holding it down. She homeschools our kids. She's a CEO at this house. She makes the decision. She makes the big decisions about what goes on in here.
Yeah.
That's my wife, and it frees me up to like focus on other ways to provide for the family and just kind of move the ball forward.
Yeah.
And to have like to cast vision just for our family. So it's like, I don't know, man. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. And if you can find one that's just Proverbs 31, which is what to strive for, like it just changes the game. It frees you up to do so much stuff,
Yeah.
And I've been really blessed, man, to be honest.
Sure.
Really blessed. Yeah. But you got freedom though. I'm just trying to stay positive for you, my homie.
Nah, man.
Stay strong, dog. God's got everybody on a path. I personally, I tell people this all the time. Like, I wish that in every season I was in, my only regret with every single season was that I was more content, no matter what.
Yeah.
That I'm more content now and not thinking about what it would be like if the kids were out. That I'm more content when I was back in the day and it was just me and my wife, and I was like, I wish we had kids already. I wish I was more content at every single stage of our lives. And
Hard to do, man. Sometimes I think about, do you ever like recognize when you are content? Because I don't. Like, I don't look back and like be like, I remember at that point in time I was really content. Maybe like when you're content, you're not thinking about being content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
I think you're just
Living.
enjoying.
Yeah.
I think contentment, a part of it is this recognition of what Ecclesiastes talks about, which is life is short. Life is short. Everything you have can be lost in an instant. And God's gift to you is to enjoy the short little life that you got. And I think if you get there, you go. That's God's gift to me. Not only do I have that, but I have Jesus. I'm good,
Yeah.
I have spurts of like, I can look back and go, I am content, But I think the hard part for us is we're kind of entrepreneurial. And so we're balancing being content with like getting after it. And I don't think they're opposed to each other,
Yeah.
I think you can get after it with freedom if you're content. Because you're not living and dying by your success. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so even in this next season, your value and your worth before God is not going to be determined on if your YouTube career takes off or your brand takes off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's already set. That's good. So it gives you the freedom to go harder.
Yeah.
Because you literally can't fail.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you literally cannot fail.
In the main scheme of things, for sure.
Yeah. But in the not main scheme of things, you can absolutely fail.
Blow it big
You
time,
can
man.
blow it big time. Yeah.
Crash and burn.
You can crash and burn. It's just that the end point is going to be up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The end is here, and it might just be
Yeah.
at the end.
Still encouraging though.
Yeah, but bro, we can't fail, dude. Like, and I can't wait to see what happens for both of us at the end of 2024 when we're reflecting on. You know what I mean? If the Lord allows us to take opportunities that are there, if we take all the opportunities that God gives us wisely, and we stay consistent, I'm excited about what God would have for us.
Yeah.
You're an encouragement to me, bro, because you're way ahead, and I'm excited about that.
Nah, man. I mean, you've been a big blessing, dude. Like, I remember the first time seeing you preach, bro. I was like, who is this guy? He doesn't seem that old either, you know what I mean?
But you find out I'm old.
Find out you're 55 years old.
I'm 33.
But nah, I mean, for where I'm from, dude, I've never been to a church where a pastor was that young, and I really liked how you preached. Like, it was real, like, kind of blunt, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Kind of East Coast.
Yeah, you're East Coast with it on
East
stage.
Coast. Dang.
East Coast got something to say.
Bro, I think I remember that time when you guys came. I preached without any notes. So it was all Bible.
You were just screaming at us.
I was all Bible, and my wife was like, "Why were you so mad today?"
Dude, that's what I like.
I was like, "Oh, snap, was I mad?" I was just going through the passage. I was like, "No."
I was getting fired up, dude.
He was like, "Why are you so mad?" So I was like, I wasn't using my note. I was just like reading the text.
And I came up to you after, I'm like, man, great preaching.
Oh
dude.
man, oh yeah, like something funny about just preaching, man. Like, I never wanted to be unnecessarily hard, you know, for God's people, and I think that I'm trying my best to get out of the way and let the text speak for itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I just see a lot of gentleness and meekness in Jesus, but not soft, like not just being weak though.
Yeah,
and not just being like unafraid to say stuff. But I always want to like balance like my tendency to be like straightforward about it. Yeah. I think I'm very straightforward because I got nothing, bro. I got no creativity to the word. Like, what did Kanye West say? Like, I don't need sauce on the word. I got enough sauce out there in the world. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I just can't do the word. I try to be creative with it, and I just like, I fail. I'm like, I just got to preach what's right here because I got nothing creative. I got nothing creative about what's being said here.
Yeah, no fresh word.
I got a fresh word. It's this word that's been fresh for 2,000 years. All I got. Yeah.
You got to get your special effects up, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
Start bringing some whiteboards up there. And
I want to rappel from the roof, but we only got a 9-foot ceiling, bro. Just be like, doink.
Let's get a trampoline set.
Just you see my legs hanging, like, I see them right there.
Hey, if that ever happens, man, make sure you tell me so I can watch it.
It'll be on the live stream. Okay. You can always see our stuff on the live stream, bro. Yeah. So we're back in. We're actually going to close, but we started talking about something else because David had stuff boiling his beef. We're talking about singleness in the church. Like, what are the challenges of singleness in the church?
Man, coming from someone who's single, like, I try to practice what I preach, though, you know? Like, I got a lot of friends, you know, who are Christian and single, male and female, and I'm not going to name names, even some siblings, and it's like, you know, all men suck, you know, even guys in the church, they're just the same, all this and that. It's like, well, when's the last time you've been to a church? It's been a couple months, or like, everyone there is older than 60. Like, well, why don't you try another church? I don't, but there's always an excuse. You know what I mean? It's sad sausage energy, as I like to call it. And
pause.
Those are for females too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. Unpause.
Yeah, that's not.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah,
keep going. My bad.
But yeah, with the and you know, guy friends, same thing. Like, they claim that they want one thing, but their actions speak another. And I always like to say, if you want a certain type of fish, you got to go to the right pond or lake. You know what I mean? And it's like, I see over and over, they keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. Like, this, you know, I met this guy, treated me real bad. Where'd you meet him? The bar. Or where'd you meet her? Oh, I mean, Tinder. I'm not a Tinder hater, but I ain't a tender lover. You know what I'm saying?
That's a quote.
But, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on there, but yeah, man, it's just sometimes.
Are you a tender lover?
I don't know.
Okay. Not a tender lover.
I don't know, man. It's been a long time. I've been single for a while. So
for real?
Yeah, dude.
For real?
For real.
How long?
Real. Shoot, man. I ain't had a situation in like 4 years, bro.
Dang.
Yeah.
Why's that?
Only God knows.
Only God knows. Was it slim pickings out here in Hawaii?
Dude,
Let me just tell you this. Let me just like give some background to why I asked that question.
yeah.
So many people, most of the people I know leave here and then they go find their spouse, like, and they get married real fast.
Yeah.
I don't know like how many times that just keeps happening over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just,
We'll see, man.
I don't know. I don't know what
Praying
it
that
is.
over my life, you know?
Let me say this though. All right, let me say this about the church's perspective on singleness. I think that the church does get it wrong when it talks about singleness being a gift. It's a gift in the same way that anything can be used as a gift. Meaning, if you have, I don't know, illness that you're struggling through, it could be a gift-like thing when you navigate it. But primarily, a sickness is an affliction, not a gift.
Yeah.
The gift is you don't burn with passions, right? The gift is that you have this gift. The celibacy is the gift. Singleness is not the gift. And so you navigate it in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if the way I heard a pastor say it was, for a person who has the gift of celibacy, meaning they have no passion, no desire to be with anybody else, for them, a relationship would be absolutely a distraction. Right? Like having to take care of a wife when I have no needs. It's a distraction to my ministry. But for someone that does not have the gift of celibacy, right? They don't have this gift. They burn with passions. It's better to marry.
Yeah.
And the reason is, oftentimes, not having a relationship can become a distraction. Right? And so you navigate it much differently than I think a lot of times we do in the church sometimes. Like, it's okay to be in a season of singleness. That's fine. But singleness is a season of life that you go in and out of, right? Like, I'm married now, but something could happen and I could be single tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Like something, or my wife can be single tomorrow. Something happened to me, God forbid. And so I think that we've been, the way we've been pushing, like, no, singleness is this thing to be pursued.
Yeah.
Well, when you don't burn, if you burn with passion, it is not a thing to be pursued. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think we got a lot of people who are just like, I just got to be content right now. And like, oh, you navigate that season correctly. Like if you had an illness, navigating correctly isn't just sitting on your hands and going like, I struggle with obesity.
Yeah.
Like get out there and work out, pursue health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I really appreciate, and I hate to say it, like we're the church lacks or anything, but I definitely appreciate how you, like when we had our coffee meeting, whatever it was, a year and a half ago or whatever, like, we talk practically. I think the church doesn't do that a lot. I think about the spiritual aspects, like practical things, like, for people in certain situations, like obviously find a church that preaches the Bible. But if it's possible, maybe if you're able to find a church that preaches the Bible who also has people your age in it, and you are someone who has the desire to get married and have a godly relationship or Christ-centered relationship, like that might be the move, And I definitely like appreciate our conversations about that. But yeah, man, I'm trying to practice what I preach, and it's pretty frustrating. I think there's just a lot of people that have unrealistic standards when they're not living up to the standard themselves as a Christian.
Yeah. Do you ever get? I hate to just ask these questions, but I'm interested in them. Bro. Do you ever get frustrated in your season of singleness right now, or are you pretty good right now?
I've always found the time. I don't think I've ever felt lonely because, like I said, from the jump, man, even homeschooling, like I was homeschooling by myself for a period. Like I had to had to be comfortable with being alone, And so I don't think I've ever dealt with loneliness. But the times that I've like, man, I really want to get married or really want to this, I'm not healthy spiritually at those times. Like I can take a step back and be like, oh, like I feel distant from God right now. Like this is just a result of my distance from God or my obedience. This isn't like, because if you think too much on it, it's like that's the problem, that's the issue. Right. I'm single, I need a wife. It's like no, like take a step back. Like, are you like intimate with the Lord right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's always not a quick fix. Like I do want a wife, you know what I mean, but I'm not going to force it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I'm trying. Like, there's been times in my past where I was living, one foot out, 1 foot in with, my walk. And I truly believe that there were Christian females around me that God protected from me.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Because I'm the last person to say like I'm a gift. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a gift.
Yeah, I'm
just
the
a gift
prize.
from the Lord.
I'm the prize. I think some rapper said
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
but,
yeah. If you're a man, stop that. She's the prize, not you.
Yeah. Dude.
Stop that.
Yeah.
You play the Christ role in your relationship. You pursue, you die
Preach it.
for the prize, bro. Calm down with this.
Yeah, dude.
Men need self-esteem.
We gotta go kill the dragon,
Goodness.
man.
Yeah, slay the dragon, man. Slay the dragon, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
she's in the castle top. You know what I mean? We're not.
What? How rude. You're not empowering there.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to run with your metaphor, and you're over here turning on me.
No, but somebody asked me about like advice for what I would say to them. They were talking about relationships, and I don't have a good answer for like
Advice for being single.
what should I do? What should I do here? I want to have a relationship, but I want to focus, and I don't have a lot of advice. But I read this passage in Proverbs. I forget where it is, so I'm not going to take time to look it up right now.
Yeah.
But it's something like plow your fields and then build your house. In my mind, I think that it's like God, you don't know who your spouse is. You don't know her name exactly. You don't know where she is, right? But you know that if you're going to choose one and God was going to reveal one to you, has to love Jesus, has all these other qualities that you know that you're looking for in a woman, that loves Jesus, fruits of the Spirit. But one thing you do know as a man, any man, young man, right? Man in his career, God's giving you a mission. He's giving you something to pursue. And so that's your known. Pursue the thing that you know God's called you to do. Plow your field. Build your house after.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't know when you're going to meet a person that you're going to marry.
Yeah.
But you do know that you got to feed, you got to work. You know God's giving you a vision. You know he's giving you direction. Yeah. You know he's giving you a mission, right? Specifically for you, you know exactly like what you're going to be pursuing with this music and with
the direction.
With the direction God's giving you. So go do that. Then anybody that you would be interacting with will be someone that you find on your mission.
Yeah.
Right? And so it will be somebody that's okay with the mission that God's already given you. You know?
I think about that. Like I can't have that energy. I'm going to wait around and wait for a wife. Like, nah, like I got to live my life. I got to do my thing. And on that same note with the fields, like plowing the fields, like I think about a verse that had a big impact on me. I forgot the actual verse, but it was like...
We're just terrible at remembering verses of both of us, man. I'm sorry.
Dude. I don't know. I know like paraphrasing, but it was like, a man or a person who doesn't provide for the members of his own household is worse than an unbeliever.
It's even worse. He has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
And that hit me heavy, bro. Because that's another layer behind, like, I don't have time. Like, I'm getting out of the military. Like, I'm leaving a steady job. Like, I don't have time to dilly-dally. Like, that's another layer behind all this is I need to build this business or build this whatever portfolio to make money because I don't want to, you know what I mean, be the house. I don't want to be the housewife or I don't want to be, like, making no money, be like, hey, I would like to marry you, but I'm broke.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be able to, and I know it's, 2023, like it's pretty common for there to be a 2-income household, but you get what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to provide, and that's another influence.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that there are challenges in my marriage because I wasn't making a lot when I got married that we didn't have to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not just the insecurities that I had not being able to provide a living for, my wife, but also just the challenges of like life. Like my wife had to work, you know what I mean? It's not ideal. Like for us, for what we believe God's called us to, it wasn't ideal at the time. But there are challenges that you can avoid. And just for us, we were like, okay, we were pretty convinced my wife was going to homeschool the kids. Mm-hmm. And that meant that I had to go work outside, so I don't think that's a bad thing to pursue, being able to, like, if God says you've denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever, I assume that it's a very, very good thing for men to provide, to be able to provide, if you are able to provide, Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So I think that I was talking to my pops about this. Like, I really, like for me, CNN media is just it means a lot to me because I want to produce all my family's content. Like I was telling my brother, my sister-in-law, like my wife, hey, whatever content we want to do, like I want to get to the point where I can just focus on building our family's stuff to help provide for all of our people, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's bigger goals than just this podcast or just me. You know, I want to be able to be a blessing. And I can't wait to see how you do that, man.
Yeah. Lord willing, bro. That's my catchphrase now, Lord willing, man. That came through, you know, starting the whole video thing and so many people not showing up on dates, not showing up. And like, I learned to take that verse very seriously. Like, don't say we're going to go into this town and do this and this on this day. It's like, say if the Lord wills it, you know, put that Southern twang on it. It's Lord willing. You know
Lord willing.
If the Lord see fit, you know, so.
Bro, so people just don't show up on shoots?
Yeah, but remember, I'm doing it for free.
Oh, yeah. They don't have no
It's a blessing to them. Like, it's like you're getting a professional video for free, whatever.
But they don't value it.
Yeah, a lot of
they
people
don't pay it. They don't value it.
And they're artists, bro. I mean, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of them are waking up late.
I'm an artist. I show up on time.
Yeah, hey, man, you're God's children.
Man. Come on, artists.
You got a higher standard, you know what I mean?
Bro, artists, and you know what? I'm paying to... Somebody got to pay for this art, man. They don't tip you?
Never, no. Hey, but I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have friends. Shout out to Slim Shady. You know?
You know Slim?
No, a different Slim.
Oh.
You would like him, though. His name's Christian.
Oh.
But I remember him being like, you don't charge these people? I'm like, nah, dude.
All love. But you built the channel to where it is, though.
Yeah, but now, I made my money back. Believe me, I made my money back. Been a blessed.
Is it a decent living at this point? You just got to keep going.
Well, it's like stocks. If you see YouTube analytics, it's
yep, I do.
Like the past 2 days, like my views went down a lot. Like, yeah, but right now, it's a lot more than I ever expected from YouTube. Like I could live probably in the South, like poor off of YouTube.
Let's go. Now. We can be poor in the South.
Yeah.
That made me want to kick a fat kid at Kmart. That's what Theo Vaughn says.
Yeah.
I'm not fat shaming though. I'm a pastor. That was just a phrase that I heard on a podcast. I probably shouldn't have made that joke. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I was hanging with David. You know how to sanctify. He's a bad influence.
Southerner,
redneck, Southern, just all of that, all of those qualities.
Bring out that
grit. Made me say what I just said twice on this podcast.
You said it, man.
But it's David's fault. I don't want to blame nobody, but I don't want to blame myself either.
I'm Akon, man. Blame it on me.
Can I blame you? You're leaving anyway.
Yeah.
David's channel is bigger than mine. He's leaving anyway. I made that joke because David brought it up when we were off camera, but I said it twice on camera.
It's fake news.
Don't cancel me. I want to be a pastor. I am the fat kid at Walmart. Kmart. I am.
Maybe it's
Kick me for saying that. Theo Vaughn's a bad influence.
Go find a kid to kick you at Kmart.
Yeah, bro. Just gotta feel bad, bro. Like, I don't want to be known for that. Bro, what if I'm trying to produce this content. I'm trying to have conversations about the Lord and just talking to other believers. And then you start seeing my content 6 months from now. You're like, he's doing pranks, getting kicked in Walmart. Skits. This is ridiculous, Christian. If you do see me veering from my path, call me out.
I'll unsubscribe, bro, for sure.
And let me know you unsubscribe. And let everybody
comment and say canceled.
Cancel. I'm done. I'm picking up Netflix again, but I'm canceling you. You're a waste of my time. Because, bro, here's the thing, man. One of the reasons that I'm doing this format, though, is because for me, it fits with what I'm trying to do, what we're doing in my ministry as a pastor. Like, I wanted to talk to people, regular people. I always wanted to do that because I grew up in the podcast era listening to pastors, like listening to watching YouTube videos like Mark Driscoll, you know what I mean? Matt Chandler,
I love Matt.
John Piper, Paul Washer, all these people, content creators, even though they don't want to act like they're not. You were the first content creators, Reformed people, Bible people. You guys were producing content. That's why you're popular. But I always wanted to, because I grew up in a blue collar family. Like my dad was an electrician.
Yeah.
My brother's an electrician, right? My dad has a contracting company, Tri-Poly Electric, shout out. But I always wanted to hear how those guys follow Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does their life look like following Jesus out there in the world, in the marketplace, trying to glorify him while dealing with a lot of things in the world?
Yeah.
Right? And you got to live and you got to work. So that's why I'm doing this format. That's why I'm not doing pranks, even though I could be kicking people in Kmart.
Or you getting kicked.
Or I could get kicked myself because I am that kid in the Kmart.
Bro, the whole blue collar thing, though, sometimes I like envy the blue collar guys. Like sometimes I wish I just had a desire to be a mechanic like my dad or a plumber. Dude, I just paid a plumber $300 for coming to my apartment for an hour. Like, they're making bank, but that's a whole different story. But like the faithful believers that, you know, do the 9 to 5, come home, love their kids and wife, like, I don't know, dude. That's so dope. Like, I love meeting like faithful believers and like ones like that like serve in their church too. Like,
oh, dude, that serve? Yeah. How can we not like do the things we're doing and then serve in the church when we got these guys working hard, serving in the church as well? Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people like that. And
when they like utilize their skill set too, like that's super dope, man.
Bro, I wish I said, the way you said it was very convicting. You said, I wish I desired to do that. What? You actually said, I wish I wanted to do. I wish I had the desire
sometimes
to do like up to like, because me too. Like I wish I could like go downstairs and be like, I'm gonna change some oil today, bro. But I got no desire, bro.
I got no desire.
I got no desire. I wish I wanted to go downstairs and just be like, let me go just change this engine real quick.
Yeah.
But I don't. You know what I want to do? I want to film the guy changing that oil. Can I make a story about you? Here, do it.
Let me get you on my podcast.
Yeah, let me get you on. Let me talk about, what'd you talk about hard work? I want to hear it.
Yeah, dude.
I want you to talk about all the hard work. Yeah, dude, respect to those people though, for sure.
Shout out to blue collar guys.
Shout out to blue collar guys, man.
And women, I guess.
And women. Yeah, for sure. They work hard too. You got me sweating on this podcast.
Man, I'm trying not to get canceled.
I'm trying not to get canceled, bro. Truthful Sessions, everybody. Check them out.
Sessions.
Cancel him.
Cancel Christian before you cancel me.
Don't cancel me, guys. I just started.
And then cancel Netflix.
Just cancel Netflix. Don't cancel Peacock. Bro, Peacock. You got to get Peacock.
Dude, I can't afford it, bro. I canceled everything. All I got is Amazon.
Ask Jolie if he can be on his.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, shout out Jolie. Can we get Brother David on, please?
I need it.
Yeah, he doing the Lord's work, man. I don't know. Morally, do I have to get off of his Peacock?
It's up to you, man.
Bro, what do I do? It's a moral conundrum, bro.
Maybe that's how he's.
This is how
she or he?
It's he, Jolie.
Jolie.
Joseph Lee.
Joseph.
Lee is his last name.
Oh, Joe Lee.
Yeah, you're thinking Angelina Jolie. No,
like
not
Jolene
Jolie.
from Dolly Parton.
Not that. Yeah.
Joe,
brother
Maybe
Joe.
Maybe that's like how he's serving you as a brother in Christ.
Letting me mooch off of his Peacock.
That's more. He's doing more for you than I'm doing for you.
That's true, bro. No, you're doing a lot for me, bro. You jumped on here. You know, Joe still hasn't been on. Still have been a hard time scheduling him. So, yeah, I don't know. He might be doing less. You know, Joe, I'm going to need you to subscribe to Netflix and add me on that too. Just in case there's a nice show on there. That's crazy.
You ain't got time for it, man. You got podcasts to film and
Do people don't understand? I do think that people don't understand what goes into like making videos. There's a lot.
Yeah.
The sound, the miking, the cameras are expensive. Like lighting's expensive.
Simple setups or like movable, setups.
Yeah. Bro, and you're gonna be owner operator out there.
Mm-hmm. For what I'm trying to do, yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. Well, it's a good time. Anything else you wanted to share?
Nah, man. Truthful Sessions, Truthful Productions, cancel your Netflix, go to church. Don't be a hypocrite.
Go to church. Harbor Church Waipahu, baby. Let's go.
If you're in Hawaii, I know a good church.
Yeah. It's hard to find, though, bro.
What is?
Our parking for our church, bro, is so hard to find. Like, my son's coach came and visited. He was on a podcast, the last podcast. But he visited our church for Christmas Eve service, and they came late because
Couldn't find
they
parking.
couldn't find the parking where it was, the location. It's
Man, y'all are growing. You're gonna start getting parking attendants.
It's a bad location though. I mean, it's a bad parking. Like if you've never been there,
yeah.
it's hard to find.
Yeah.
But I like it though.
Gotta get some orange vest guys out there, man.
That's true. That's true.
Put them kids to work.
I do like it though, and the reason I like it is because like it's really in the middle of the city. By Powell.
People
like
are
right
seeing
there.
it walking out of that grocery store and everything.
Rocking out of that grocery store, man. You ever been in that grocery store?
Never.
Bro, freshest meat you ever seen in your life. Oh yeah, the freshest.
Dang.
Lobster's still living in there. Just
for real?
Hey,
just grab it, take it home.
Take the lobster home like that, bro. Dang. What about the frog? You want the frog? Grab the frog.
Good on the frog.
I'm just kidding. I never seen a frog. I never seen a frog there, but I do see some live animals in there. It's crazy.
Chickens running around.
Yep. But it's a good spot, bro. Like it's in the middle of Waipahu. That's my hometown. That's where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And like I'm just praying that we could be. I really want our church to be a blessing to the community, but not in the way that people think. Like I don't mean be a blessing to the community and I guess the way I'm saying it is I grew up in the community, so I know like it's not a community looking for handouts. It's a hardworking community. So they're not looking like give me free stuff. But I'm just looking to be the church that provides opportunities for the kids and a place to study and a place to get connected, build relationships with the families and people that just support the families that live in the community. So less events at the church kind of thing and more
outreach.
More of our church just being involved in
the community,
the life of the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like going to games, supporting these kids, spending time with them.
Yeah.
Meeting their parents, things like that,
That's cool.
Yeah. Because like for me growing up, my dad was like, your dad was a coach. My dad was a coach. And I just saw the impact that he had on a lot of the players,
Yeah.
A lot of the players still remember my pops. Like my kids are playing with their kids and they're like, dude, your dad was my Coach Chris, he was my coach. And they tell their wives about him, about my dad. And it's because he invested time in them, And so I think for me, I just want to see all the people that have made an impact on my life spent significant amount of time with me.
Yeah.
But the people that made an impact on my life, like a real significant impact on my walk with the Lord, were the guys that spent time with me at school or after school,
Yeah.
hung out with me, really got to know me. So you got to be in the community for a long haul. So I'm praying that our church is able to stay in that location for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least in the area for a long time.
I was gonna say, what if it gets too packed?
Dude, I don't know. I don't
You
know.
thought that far? You've had to.
I've thought ahead, but I don't know what we do. We spent
smaller chairs.
But we got Samoans in there though. If we get smaller chairs than what we got, bro, I'm taking this chair in there, and I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna roll my chair. You guys want to get smaller chairs? I'm gonna roll my chair to the front and just sit there like that. And I'm like, hey, son, pack my chair back up into my car, bro. I like my big chair. Everybody can be on those small chairs. Nah, but what I'm thinking is, and we spent a lot of energy and resources, to be in that location.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't exactly know what we'll do when it gets packed, but I know that it's getting there. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, what God does. Hopefully he opens up opportunities. There's probably somebody out there more strategically wiser than me who knows the next step. But
yeah,
man, I'm grateful that people come. Like there's, I don't know, all we're offering is the gospel. All we're offering is Jesus. Nothing fancy at our church, just the Lord, and the fact that people are down for that, down to hear that, and maybe not completely walking with him yet, but they're coming and hearing the gospel over and over and over again. I believe that there are people that belong to Christ that just need to hear the gospel. And so I just pray that we're able to be there and be consistent as long as God would allow us, Yeah. I love Waipahu, man. It is like, this is like my favorite, like, I'm from here. I love this place.
Yeah.
It's like it's the best kept secret, I think, in all of, for people that don't know about Hawaii. Yeah. Waipahu, there's other places, more places on Oahu are like Waipahu than are like the North Shore, what you're thinking about. Yeah. Or Waikiki. There are more places like this, like Waipahu. where the kids aren't surfer kids. Nothing wrong with them, but we weren't, you know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily beach kids, all of us, but like the beach.
Yeah.
But Waipahu was just a lot of concrete, and I like it. You know, I like it.
Yeah, from the streets, man.
Yeah, I like it. I love this place, and I want to see God use it again. Waipahu used to be a hub for all kinds of stuff.
What do you mean?
Like it was the center of like the sugar cane. You know, we had the sugar plantations out here, and so you know that smokestack that's out when you see it from our church right outside. Yeah. So that was like a sugar plantation thing, right? And sugar mill. So we produced a lot of sugar. So Waipahu was like downtown for the west side, pretty much. Yeah, it was, that street was popping before. Yep. And I think that a lot of people believe that, okay, in order to be successful, you gotta get out of here. You gotta leave. And I want to be like, no, we can train our kids and educate our kids and support our kids here, and they can thrive being from here, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have to leave to get all the resources they need, you know, necessarily.
Yeah. Hometown hero, dog.
That's my home. I'm not a hometown hero. I actually left in high school, so.
Nah, hero always comes home, man.
The hero comes home. Yeah. Jesus is the hero.
Yeah.
I'm just the dude holding his bags.
It's still a pretty big job for Jesus.
Kind of holding his bag. I don't know if that analogy works, but God's been gracious and God's been so good to us, man. And dude, I appreciated you being there from the beginning. Even though you weren't with us in our church, you still visited and you still
I gave you Chris, you know what I mean?
Gave us Chris, man. You gave us Chris. You were always an encouragement to me, and so I'm grateful, man. I'm thankful, and I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Great things coming soon for both of us, I'm sure.
Yep, man.
Lord
for sure.
willing.
Lord willing, man. Lord willing.
Sir.
Yes, sir.